We're back. It's time for the 2024 Urban NerdCon. Join us in Atlanta, Georgia, April 26th through the 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel. Special guests include Underworld creator Kevin Grievous, Gary Gray from Fairly Odd Parents, from Nickelodeon, Giovanni Samuels, the Science Machine Michael Green, the Sci-Fi Sisters, and from Spaceballs and Star Trek Voyager, Tim Russ.
Hi, I'm Tim Russ. Join me April 26th through the 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia for the Urban NerdCon. Our heroes, our villains, our stories. Everyone con. I'll see you there. Live long and prosper.
Visit theurbannerdcon.net to get your buy one, get one free badges before the price increases. Remember, our heroes, our villains, our stories. Everyone's con. See you there.
All right. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan Fulford, Marcus Green, and Kelvin Rozier there at the bottom. Sorry, I don't have his name there visible. But brothers, how you doing? Rattlers, how you doing tonight?
What's up, champions? How y'all doing? Doing well.
Doing good.
Yeah, everybody's good. You sure? Everybody in good health? Everybody feeling good? Good spirits?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kelvin got on the color coordinated cardigan and everything. Showing us how to do it.
Yeah, I got to put you up top, Kelvin. I love your shirt. I'm gonna move you to the top screen. Hello to the family watching us wherever and however you're watching us. You might be watching us on Instagram Live on our at ONG Strike Zone. First off, make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at ONG Strike Zone. Also, those of you watching us on YouTube or on Facebook on the Black College Sports Network and Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page, we appreciate you. Our show is a part of the Black College Sports Network, so lots of great shows all week talking about all kinds of things in the HBCU diaspora, or sometimes we get a little specific, like our show. Or maybe you'll if you tune in on Saturdays, you'll catch Carlos Brown, where he talks a lot of Southern and SWAC sports. Of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays, you get Dr. Cavill inside the HBCU Sports Lab, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. And then you get me and another Rattler, AD Drew, doing the BCSN Sports Wrap, sort of our weekly summary of the week, and then a week ahead kind of preview. So lots of good content and more to come as well. Did you guys peep? What do you think of the new intro? I didn't hear anything. Did you peep the new intro? What'd you think?
I've seen it. I didn't pay attention. I'm not gonna lie.
See, all that hard work I do, man, I tell you,
it is
you guys
very much appreciated. You the best.
Oh, thank you.
It's not you, it's us.
It's actually no. You definitely is not me. You definitely is not me. So I don't know who it is, but we got a loaded show for you tonight. Of course, coming up at the bottom of the hour, Coach Pressure's making her debut. Coach Bridgette Gordon, the legend, the GOAT, is coming in. Perfect time to talk to Coach. We got the tournament. NCAA tournament coming on. She's a legend, 2-time champion, Olympian, all just awards out the yang. And but more importantly, she took our women's basketball team to places that many people questioned whether they would be able to do it. But she did it. and she's ready to go. I tell you, if the season were to start in April, well, maybe not April, but if the season were to start in May, she's ready to go. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Coach is ready to go. So we got Coach coming up at the bottom of the hour. So if you guys got questions, those of you who didn't send questions in on email, drop them in the chats. I'll make sure to star them, and as we have time through the course of the night, we'll make sure to ask Coach about them. Of course, we don't want to take a moment, and the name of the show obviously has been a year like none other, man. It's been just over a year now. This past weekend, we lost our brother, Kofi Hemmingway. Not only just our brother, a great rattler, but a great husband, great friend, great father. Just a lot of things that Kofi was great at, and he inspired and touched so many people with his time here. And I guess that's, at the end of the day, I think that's the one big takeaway, that, use your time, to love those around you. Be passionate about what you do, and whatever you do it great, do it well, do it with excellence, and do it in God's favor. And so I think it's we have coming up a little bit in this half hour. We're going to talk to our nieces, Lourdess and Majesty, just kind of find out how they're doing, what they are up to, and get a chance to talk to them as well. Guys, any thoughts and feelings over the weekend? Anything that kind of you want to express while we got it?
Well, I'll just say this show is a legacy and testament to our brother Kofi. That's why I got a part of it, and he's a driving force in terms of us continuing his mission and his vision as to what the purpose and the content of this show is. A lot of what we do is still driven by his inspiration and to continue and finish what he started. So that, of course, that's first and foremost. And then I got to give the high, even though he graduated from Rutgers. We went to the high for a long time. He went to the high way longer than he did as a Redskin. So shout out to the high. And then as someone mentioned, EA has mentioned also, the high lost another great rattler. Saw him at the last basketball game. Was the last time I talked to him. Chaka Perkins, mom, longtime employee of the university, and he grew up, pretty much on the campus, and him and his siblings, and just all my family high state championship basketball shirts from Coach Kermati. Chaka is responsible for all those shirts. So definitely want to send condolences to the Baby Rattler family and his family and the Rattler family at large.
Well said. Well, so I didn't have the direct pleasure of knowing Chaka, but I watching his appearance on some other shows, especially the 1400. He was it was great watching and seeing him there. So I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get a chance to interact with him more or meet him, but hearing directly or indirectly through others, powerful stuff. How about you, Marcus? Any thoughts from the weekend?
I think a pretty good weekend for FAMU overall. Once again, thoughts for Kofi. I didn't know him very, very well, but just an interaction on the show, you can see his heart, feel his heart, and his passion for FAMU and his passion for people. Love very much a people person.
Yeah.
And it draws that out of you. So, and that's one thing that will be missed from him, amongst many other things, but also you can see that in his daughters.
Yeah. Appreciate all you guys. In a moment, like I said, we'll check in. We'll have Lourdess and Majesty joining the show here shortly. I see a lot of you guys checking in. Obviously, big storyline, news coming out today. I mean, any number of ways that we could go. I know the big story, like I said, it's hard to squeeze in the big news in front of the interviews that we got, but obviously the biggest story that was announced was that Coach McCollum, his contract would not be renewed. Coach McCollum, of course, has led the FAMU men's basketball program for the last 7 seasons. In a statement from this morning, VP AD Sykes said, I want to thank Coach McCollum for his dedication to FAMU and our basketball student athletes. He has led this program with integrity and has positively influenced countless young men, both players and coaches. We wish Coach McCollum and his family the very best in the future. Coach's time, 7 seasons at FAMU, record 67 and 133. He did have a 53 and 61 mark in conference play. And that's taken into consideration given the last 2 seasons. 53 and 61 is just barely below 500. And then think about how tough the last 2 seasons have been. He was the 2021 MEAC Coach of the Year. He had a SWAC Player of the Year in MJ Randolph in 2022, our first year in the SWAC. As I kind of tweeted out earlier, I thought Coach McCollum, great man, great coach, great person to talk to. Yeah. I mean, if you love just talking to people and listening to people, Coach is great to talk to. So, tough circumstances over the last couple seasons, and basically trying to build 2 new teams. I think Coach was a victim of this day and age in college basketball, in my opinion. And I think, I'm sure we'll get into talking more about it later, but whomever comes into this role will have to be able to do so, understanding situations are what they are and the circumstances. They'll have to, I think what I said was they'll have to be able to work with the circumstances that they have. And so I'll say that. Kelvin, you know him, you worked with him well. What are your thoughts?
I think you highlighted a lot of those, my thoughts. Coach, like as you said, is a former, he was a coach of the year, conference coach of the year. He's had a player of the year candidate. And he's just a class guy. He's an adult in the room. Unfortunately, we just didn't win quite enough these last couple of years for whatever reason. So you kind of understand, that's part of the whole thing. But, I always want to, I reached out to Coach and, let him and thanked him for his years of service and, how kind he was to me. While we worked together as well as after I had left the university. So I kind of can relate to him on that sense too. Coach, he's been doing it for a long time. Mm-hmm. And both as a head coach and but this transfer portal, if you watch what's happening in the SWAC in basketball on the men's and women's side, this transfer portal has forever changed things. So it's just not football, and so anyway, Coach, his players always did the right thing. They went to class. When they traveled, they represented wherever they were. They represented us well. They never got in trouble. Coach dealt with some situations where he had to deal with some practice times and some other sanctions related to things that had nothing to do with his specific teams, and he did it without complaining. He had a season where he didn't have any home games at all. So again, I just we understand it's part of the business, but Coach is a great rattler still, and we wish him well.
Marcus, any thoughts you want to share?
Kind of like what Kelvin said. It was tough last 2 years, and we thought that coming out of the MEAC, we were on the upswing, and then just well, I think the landscape within college basketball caught up with coach in terms of being able to craft a team and basically having 80% of your roster or more turnover season to season. So that's a new thing that you have to navigate. But also, heightened expectations, especially with some first year coaches on the men's side and women's side having some success. And then there's becomes a combination of high expectations with someone who's been there for a while and able to put his fingerprints on the program, but also instantaneous success, and all those things I think converged to where we are today. And it kind of you kind of saw the writing on the wall just a little bit, only because you had heard no talks about an extension. I mean, nothing, even going into the season. So without someone entering their contract year, and there's no discussion, no talk, no even conversation or bringing up the topic of a renewal or extension or anything like that, then it was kind of writing on the wall.
Yeah. And let me clarify, again, Coach McCullum wasn't terminated. This was the end of his contract was June 30th. So the contract was not going to be renewed. And so that was the statement. So I don't know. Some of y'all will apples to apples, say whatever you want to say. It wasn't that he was terminated. He had served the term of his contract, and, VP Sykes is going to look into start the process. There was a statement about a committee. So the good old committee will be in the works. And we'll go from there. We'll talk more about it in the second hour of the show. Let me bring in our two primary guests right now in the first segment and say hello to the nieces of our show, Lourdess and Majesty. I think both are ready. So I'm going to bring the ladies on. There's Lourdess. Wave to the people, Lourdess.
Hello.
And there's Majesty doing the whole death row kind of light around her with the man.
Sorry.
That's all right. Lourdess tried to do the little background art, and Majesty went another level on you there, Lourdess, with the whole background and the spotlight on her.
I don't know what she has going on. Pray for her, y'all.
I'm in the car, y'all. I just left church from prayer. I was in a prayer.
Amen.
No death row. So yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Get myself in trouble already. Well, ladies, we're glad that you were able to take some time and come in and talk with us. First off, kind of let us know how you were doing. What's going on in your lives? Obviously, I know this was a tough weekend, but I love the way you two kind of celebrated life this weekend. I saw some of the pictures and some of the things you guys were doing this weekend. So why don't you guys kind of update the family with things?
Yeah. So one of my male friends, he's one of my closest best friends. He, I told him, I was like, I'm still, going through therapy and stuff and grief counseling. And she said, this time, when his death date comes up, do something that is personal that you guys both love to do. And me and my dad, we like nature. So, I don't know if he's ever told y'all this, but he really likes gators.
Yes.
And so he likes gators, and I like reptiles. So there's like pictures of me like holding snakes and stuff, and we'll do that or go to Gatorland in Orlando. So one of my best friends, he was like, "Hey, let's go kayaking. I've never gone kayaking. There's gators out there. I didn't see one, but we decided to do that, and so that was really fun. And I think for me, it created a lot of peace. I still had my time, and I cried, towards the end of the day, like when my emotions were kind of like winding down. But it was hard, but I decided to choose joy and try something new. And then I told Lourdess to come, and I woke her up, and I was like, can you be ready in 10 minutes? And Lourdess was like, but she came, and we rode our little kayaks for like 3 miles, Lourdess, 3 to 5 miles or something.
It was 5 miles.
5 miles, right? And so we did that, and then Yeah, I'm in the process of admitting myself and applying to grad school. So it's either going to be FSU or FAMU, and that's the goal. I'm trying to. They don't have FAMU's not offering a counseling program, so I might just get my master's in social work, so I can still become a counselor and do other things with that degree.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Lourdess, give us an update. How you doing? How was that weekend? I know
Oh my
it's kind of.
gosh. Y'all, I was just really just gonna enjoy my life and sleep in, you know what I'm saying? But then my lovely sister came into my room and was like, get up and get ready in 10 minutes or else. So then I had to get up against my will. And then we went kayaking. And
Girl, bye.
Ooh, I'm telling y'all, we went kayaking, y'all. It was not 3 miles. They had me kayaking against upstream for 5 miles. I was tired. I was out there for 3 hours. My back is still sore.
She
Majesty's
made it.
not forgiving. Majesty's not forgiving.
Yeah,
I
maybe
would never do that
she
again.
need to come to prayer service tonight, y'all. That's what it's sounding like.
Because I had class. I'm a scholar.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, so where did y'all go kayaking at?
We went
to Wakulla.
Yeah.
Okay. Wakulla Springs.
Wakulla Springs.
It was a river.
Next time I want to go to some more like blue water, that's where I would want to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a treacherous journey.
This wasn't the first time y'all went kayaking, was it?
It was.
It was my first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did y'all? So what did y'all see? If y'all didn't, I don't know how you went to Wakulla Springs and didn't see any gators. But
it wasn't
what did y'all
Wakulla Springs.
see?
It was
Oh,
it was a
okay.
river. It was a river in Wakulla. I don't know what that river is called, but it was murky and dirty and just
I
everything.
thought it was beautiful.
Don't get out the kayak.
It was
Don't get out
just
the kayak kind of water.
Yeah, it was a place where a lady like me shouldn't be. So,
please, they're not laughing. It's a joke, honestly.
It's a joke, but it wasn't funny. Yeah, so I was still out there, but it was a good day for me. I still would have had a good time, even if I wasn't on the water. But it was, a good opportunity for me to get out the house, get some exercise, hang out with some folks, eat some food. I think I still would have had a good day regardless, because my perspective on life is just very different. I always try to see the good in things, the positive in the situation.
Whatever.
So I really do, guys. Don't listen to her. I really do. It was just a good day for me, just celebrating the life. It's been a year. It doesn't really feel like a year, but it feels like a year. And, people are like, oh, it feels like it was just yesterday. I was like, it does not feel like it was just like yesterday. Praise the Lord for that. But we're still growing. We're still moving forward as a family. And it was just a good time.
Okay, so let me ask about, because I know I tried to reach out during the New Year's, and you all had a lot of things going on. So with Majesty, kind of talk about graduation, and I know you been doing, you had done a little traveling and so forth. So talk about graduation, what you graduated in, and so forth. And you mentioned that you're looking at grad school, but you do some other things. So talk about what else you're doing.
Okay. So graduation was good. I got my bachelor's degree online and the psychology and the bachelor's of arts program. And so I graduated from the University of North Florida, and it was good. I spent time with my family. My grandma, we did a graduation dinner at Yvonne Adams, and all my friends and my coworkers, my boss was there. My uncles came from Miami, and my aunties, like it was a lot of people, and I had a really good time. We played some games, and then after that, I've just been looking for a job, and then I got hired and got blessed with a new job as a family service coordinator for the Children's Home Society of Florida. So basically, we just work with kids and coordinate service for them. We'll find the right therapist for them, occupational therapist, physical therapist. If the child has a disability, And then I would be the one to go to a home sometimes or check in with the family. If the kid is in neglect or abuse, I'll be the one to report it. And but my main job is just helping kids and seeing if they're eligible for the program, if they have a disability. And there are people that go there, that work there, that also have gone to FAMU, and so they've been like, hey, you can intern here if you want to pursue counseling. So it works out. And so yeah, and then after that, I recently did a photo shoot to apply to at least 90 modeling agencies. So I'm trying to do that this weekend
All
and
right.
pursue that. So those are the main things. I've just really just been going out in nature, trying to go to the gym, trying to eat right, instead of eating ice cream a lot. That's about it.
Okay, and Lourdess, Miss Campaign Manager, along with other stuff. Yes, I know. I got some. I got.
I know
I
how
got.
you know.
I
know
got
how
eyes. I got eyes and ears everywhere. So talk about what you've been up to.
Oh my goodness, y'all. The campus needs to be rebuked. Like they're crazy, but y'all. So I did not graduate last fall. I wasn't supposed to anyway, but I just had to let y'all know I'm still a rattler. And then after all that, my friend, she asked me to be her campaign manager. We did that. We ran our election on, integrity and trusting the Lord. And we will continue to do that, regardless of these circumstances. But now I am really just applying for internships for the summer. It has been a treacherous journey, because I don't know what is going on with the job field, but it just is. And I'm looking for an internship. I just recently got accepted to be HBCU 7th generation ColorComm fellow. So basically I'm a fellow for marketing. They just set me up for recruiting opportunities, and they allow me to network with other HBCU students that are like-minded like me. So that's what I've been doing. I've been going to class, getting my work done, just trying to graduate next year, spring 25. Y'all should pop up at the graduation.
Sure.
And yes, I'm just loving the Lord and everything. What else have I been doing? I've been trying to eat right, y'all. I tried to start my 75 hard challenge in January, but y'all know Wingstop is on campus, so I just I couldn't finish. So yeah, I just been finishing up my schoolwork, sitting in these classes, doing my work. They trying to push me to do the 5-year MBA track for FAMU. I'm sorry, but once I get this bachelor's, I will be out of here.
Do the MBA thing, Lourdess. I still regret 20 plus years later. I still wish I would have done the MBA track. Get it done. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it and get it done. I know you're telling yourself, "Nah, I want to be out." No, I'm telling you, get it done. Get it done, and then you'll be done with everything, or unless you choose to go get a doctorate or something.
Yeah, I do plan on going to grad school, but I got some professional advice, and with the business field, it's very different. It's not like STEM where like you have to get everything like right away. They were like, even if you do get an MBA, you're still going to start out with the same salary because you're going to be in an entry-level position and you don't have the years of experience that are, required to level up. So they were just telling me, go graduate, get a year of experience, come back, do your master's in whatever field you want, and then let your company or your corporation pay for your degree. And then as soon as you get your degree, then you can get like promoted a lot faster than.
I mean, I can't argue it. I remember hearing the same thing. I just, just if you end up in a different career, though, at least you have that master's degree that somebody will say, "Oh, you got a master's degree?" Yeah, I got it back in, back when I finished my undergrad, like that next year. So that's the only retort that I would have to that is I heard those same things 25 years ago, and yeah, it's been a minute. So yeah, it still applies. Let people know what intern. You said you're looking for an internship. What field? So that way we might have some people here in the chats that might be able to help with that. What intern?
Oh,
what
yes.
type of internship are you looking for?
Let me look at the people in the chat and y'all, I'm looking for a marketing internship, specifically like digital media, campaign development, that sort of thing. That's my field. That's my field of interest. You guys can look me up on LinkedIn, Lourdess Hemmingway. And you guys can see some projects I've done. The resume is not empty, y'all. It's very full. I also have the personality to just uplift y'all's work environment, because that's what corporate needs. You know, that's what they need. So
Talk your talk. That's what
There it
I'm
is.
talking about.
Hey, that's exactly, there it is. That's good stuff. All right, so family, anybody out there, you got any opportunities, please make sure to look up Lourdess on LinkedIn, and help a sister out, help the nieces out. Any final words, ladies? Anything you want to send? Any shout outs to Rattler Nation or anybody in particular? Majesty, you first.
I would say I'm just thankful for all of you guys. I'm thankful for this platform and being able to talk. I also need people to help me with FAMU campus because I'm nervous. Oh, financial aid is scaring me. But I'm excited.
I gotta go there tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm excited. You know, my grandma's like, when are you gonna start flying? So we're doing that now. I'll say just prayers for me that I get into the right grad program, whether it be FSU or FAMU, that I'm just in the right place, you know, that I can get in by fall somewhere.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. And if you need both of you both know how to get in contact with me. So just if you need something, just text.
All right, y'all.
Lourdess, the family's asking, Tamara T asking if you visited the Career Center for internship assistance yet.
I surely have. The funny thing is, let me tell y'all, I got an interview invite from Amazon for Amazon marketing. So they invited me for an interview, and then they're like, oh, it's first come, first serve. Make sure you fill the slot in enough time. So as soon as I opened that email, y'all, I filled out that slot. I said 3:30 p.m., because I can afford to miss that 3 o'clock class for that interview. So I said, let me just do this one. And then they're going to email me back, say, oh, the time slots were filled up too fast, so you're just going to have to, application omitted, whatever. So y'all see, Amazon wanted me too, y'all. It's all about the talent. It's all about the talent. No, I'm just messing with y'all. But it really is about the talent. But yes, I visited the Career Center. I visited, places in SBI. I'm still waiting to hear back from some more people that I've applied to. So yes, I have done all that. I've done all I can do. So I've really just been trusting the Lord, paying my tithes and offering, and hopefully the Lord can, return the offer. So yeah, that's me, y'all. Last final words, shout out to Rattler Nation. If y'all got students at FAMU, remember, vote Bridgette. Next, let me think what's next. Y'all just got to continue living, laughing, and loving. Live your life through a positive light. There's good in everything. Remember that. Remember me also, because I might be coming out with a podcast soon. Y'all tune in. But yes, just live, laugh, love, appreciate each other, love on each other. It's just what it is.
Oh, you have the personality. You have the personality for it. So please make sure to let me know. Let us know when you're getting ready to drop that podcast. All right, please do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, family. Make sure to please keep Majesty, Lourdess, the Hemmingway family in your prayers. Ladies, this show is a legacy. As Kelvin said, it's a legacy of your dad and of you. So you always got a home here. You always have a place. Anytime you got something to let Rattler Nation know or to promote, all you got to do is give us a call and boom, you're on. Okay.
All right.
Ladies, have a good evening.
Thanks for jumping on. Even though y'all forgot, and I had to test y'all, remind you.
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
See, Uncle Kelvin be putting people out there. He does that to me too. Don't worry about it, ladies. He be throwing you under the bus. Uncle Kelvin will throw you under the bus.
Jesus, forgive us.
Yeah. See. All right. Y'all take care.
Hey, that's what you
will.
Bye.
All right.
For sure. Bye.
Boy, I tell you, Uncle Kelvin, boy, be throwing people under the bus. I tell you. All right, let's take a short break. because we got to get Coach Pressure in here. Coach Bridgette Gordon's joining the show. Get your questions in now, Rattler Nation. I know you got a few of them in there. So we're going to talk to Coach coming up. She's making her debut on the ONG Strike Zone. Looking forward to it right after these words. Don't go too far because I promise this is going to be a very short break. So we'll be back in just a moment. I promise here, as soon as I hit the button. It'll be
You sure? Are we going?
I promise. Be quiet.
Are we leaving?
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Marcus, Kelvin, Roger here. I know a lot of you are buzzing in the chat room. Those of you who are watching the March Madness game, Grambling down 2 with under a minute to go.
Oh, no, they're up. They're tied at 72.
15. Oh, so you're ahead of me even. Okay, look at that.
15 seconds left. I'm watching online. I don't know who number 1 is, but Carter. He got a bank off the glass to tie the game up. And then
I just saw that. So I'm probably about 10 seconds behind you then. Also, an update from South Florida USF, FAMU baseball. I think we're down 9-4 now in the 8th inning, last I saw. So,
yes.
Yeah, it kind of has gone the other direction for our guys. All right, before we bring on Coach Gordon, let me put this up here so that way you guys can already get your phones out right now, scan the code right there. The donation to the Rattler Athletic Fund, the women's basketball account, the pound 0007. Again, the mission was to donate at least $60 for every point that was scored in our SWAC tournament game. Obviously, you can always do more. You can do less, but $60 is the goal. Every dollar going into the women's basketball account is going to help Coach do what she needs to do in this offseason. Those of you who caught her on the 220 Club this afternoon, which was great, by the way. Shout out to Vaughn and Mr. Eddie Jackson and Mr. Jackson for all the stuff that they do and everybody at the 220 Club. So let me go on and bring on, without further ado, making her debut here on the ONG Strike Zone, it's our coach, Coach Bridgette Gordon. Coach, how you doing, Coach?
I'm doing fine. I can't complain.
Hey, Coach, it's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for coming on. It was great to see you talking to the 220 Club earlier this afternoon, putting down promises, coming through fulfilled. I mean, that's pressure, but she likes the pressure though. Coach likes the pressure. Coach, before we get into talking about, FAMU basketball, here we are at the start of the NCAA tournament. That's where the legend began. You obviously you did some work and made a name for yourself as a high school ball player in the state of Florida. But when you went to Tennessee, you took it to another level. 4 Final Fours, 2 national championships. What kind of memories come up for you when this time of year kicks in and starts?
Oh man, it's so many memories. And I guess that was one of the reasons that I wanted my young ladies to experience the SWITE. Because once you get there, you want to continue to come back. So for that core young ladies that was in the culture that was there last year, that'll have the opportunity to come back next year, they're going to be excited because they know what it feels like. So I get chills all over again, think about the memories of a long time ago, but it's still excitement. The platform for women's basketball, when you have Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, and you have, all those guys from the NBA talking about women's basketball, that's exciting to me because this is a platform that my mentor, my friend, my coach envisioned and laid the foundation. And we did so much work. I can recall, while we were playing at the time, it was Old Dominion, Louisiana Tech or Texas in the middle of our rugged SEC season. It was to bring forth and let people understand the women game that we really can play. We don't play half court anymore. It ain't 3-on-3. We all women can play 5-on-5 and we can dominate. So when I go back and think about those days, it reassured me that I'm teaching my young ladies how to play basketball the right way. And that's the basic fundamentals. And that's all you hear the greats talk about. Even Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett in the studio talking about it. So I'm excited where the game is at, and I'm excited to be the head coach at FAMU.
Yeah. What was there a game or a moment that what was? I mean, the two championships has to be obviously the seminal moments, but I know it's a journey just to get to those championship games. Is there a game or a moment that you look back on and said, okay, that was where me being Bridgette Gordon, me being who I am today, where it was sort of defined, or where that was my game. That was it. Is there which game or which moment can you look back on and say that was it?
It was so many moments that, when you look back on my career, because I'm so highly decorated. But if I can go back in time and I just think about that first Final Four, 1986 in Kentucky. And I'm going up against the great Cheryl Miller, USC. And of course, we don't win, but just to get there and get that experience and get the hungriness that okay, Cheryl, we lost to USC. Cheryl Miller, the most dominant woman in the game at the time. And I think she is the best that ever domed in a uniform for the women's side. It's like, okay, I want to come back and I want to win it. Just got that taste. And I thought about running on the track at 6:45 in the morning, running more than the track team. And just all the hard work and the dedication that you had to put in, trimming up, coming in from high school, not in the shape that I needed to be, not knowing the level at the collegiate. But at the end, that reward was so great to be there. And lights, shining, camera, let's go. I'm like, this is fun. I can do this forever. So get back there in 87, I think that was the key because I wanted to win the first one for Pat. It was the conversation that she had in my home with my mother when she came in there. She was like, hey, I've been knocking on the door with Bridgette. I think I can knock the sucker down. So going to the Final Four my freshman year and winning it in my sophomore year, it's nothing like being a first. And that's what I was trying to persuade my young ladies. Once you go to the SWITE for the first time, there'll never, ever be a first again. And anytime you talk about the SWITE, they got to also mention the first team that was in the tournament. So they will always be mentioned in being a part of the first part of history.
Yes, indeed. Kelvin, go ahead.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, Coach, I don't know what that background is back there, but it is fly. I am digging it. That is hype. I love it. Number two, as a seasoned basketball ticket holder and someone who saw just about every game, um, I really enjoyed the product that you put on the floor and the growth of your team as the season went forward. I want you to kind of describe, starting out the journey for this season for this FAMU team from when you get in there in August, September to you start playing in November, and then you get out of you have a tough out of conference schedule, and then you get into conference play, and then you could see confidence to the point where even the best teams in the conference they had to fight to get a victory from the Rattlers because the we had 3-4 girls falling out and we were still right there. So just kind of talk about this team and coaching this team and some of the things that you learned in your first year as a head coach.
First of all, I'd just like to say you got to give a lot of credit to the young ladies for trusting in the first year. I call myself seasoned head coach, been around the block a couple of times, but just the fact that I took the job, first day on the job was August the 14th. First day of school was August the 28th. We get out on the track that morning on the 29th, and we all excited and happy, and we get an email at 12 o'clock. The school is shutting down from the tornado that came through. So you look back at that, and we don't actually get started until after Labor Day. That's a journey. And I was taken on as a first-year head coach for the first 2 months. I was solo dolo. I was by myself. My staff hadn't been hired yet. Just the timing of everything coming in, and just looking at me taking a one-woman show at that time. But it was a challenge that I was up for. And as I look back at it, that I was built for. Everything, everybody was like, you've been to a lot of different universities, and good thing that I did that I was here, there. I took a little bit of DNA from here, a little bit DNA from there, then sprinkle my own experience on it. And that's how I came up with the formula that I did. And one thing I got to realize is that Pat Summitt produced a lot of great players, right? We got jerseys hanging in the gym. You still got Candace Parker playing, Tamika Catchings. I can go Holesclaw, Shamika Holesclaw. I can go along the line. And she got a lot of coaching, our tree. But when I look at it and I go back and look at what I've done, I think I'm the closest thing to her. I was called Pat Jr. when I was there at the university. And now as a coach, I understand why. You really had to show these young ladies that you cared. And when you showed them that you cared, when I showed them that they cared, they was willing to listen. When they understood that I didn't just talk the talk, but I walked the walk, not on one day basis, every day. Every day I brought it. Energy. I brought it every day. It didn't matter if it was 5:45 walking over there to TCC Community College when we was out of the gym because of homecoming, or whether we was at Gaither Community Center, or whether we was down at FAMU DRS. I brought it. And it didn't matter what condition, where we was at, I didn't lose focus on the goal. And we signed in our locker room. It said the journey to the tourney, because I really believed that we had enough to win. If I taught them the basic fundamentals and they were to buy in, because we was going to play hard. That was not an option. We was going to compete and play hard for 40 minutes every day, no matter who it was. And that's what a lot of people don't realize too, that I only had 12 scholarship players, added 4 walk-ons, eventually had 2, and we ended up with 13 women roster. And 2 of those young ladies was out for injury, had concussions in and out the season. I had meniscus in and out the season, and that did not stop us. I just told them it was the next woman up, and I prepared them. I got on the walk-on just as hard as I got on the POY, because I had to prepare them for the moment that happened, that the last 4 minutes in the game, we with 2 walk-ons, and we still clinched the berth to go to the first SWAC tournament. So when I look back over all the work that I put in, I was never afraid, because I was never afraid as a coach. So I wanted to give them everything that I was, that I didn't have in somebody to look up to, if that makes sense. I wanted to be that person that I needed in my career as a young Black woman coming from DeLand, Florida. So that's who I am for my young ladies. And that was somebody that looked like me, talked like me, walked like me, and had been through a journey coming from a single parent home and understand everything that it took to be a champion at every level. That's rare. And I had to understand that I was rare and everybody wasn't going to buy into it. But I want to thank them for buying into it and me pushing it. Because I tell you, sometimes, guys, when I'm in a zone, I didn't even realize what I was doing, accomplishing. It was all God. I got to give God all the credit that he helped me and prepared me for this positioning. Because I was talking to Tommy from the 220 Club, and he said he told AD, he said, Bridgette wrote a miracle. And whether people want to give me credit or not, I was never the type of player that needed somebody to pat me on my back to say, well done. When I look myself in the mirror and when I come home at night, if my tank had been empty and I can look myself in the mirror and say, Bridgette, you gave it all you got, that's all I got. Because I'm going to give you 100% every day. Not take a day off every day. And that's what I require for my young ladies. Excellence, sit in the first 3 rows in the classroom, get a 3.5 GPA, represent FAMU, the #1 HBCU in the country, 6 years strong. Be proud of the name that's not only in the front but in the back, because my father, native Jamaican, said, hey, people can take anything away from you, but they can never take your name. So leave your name. Let that be your legacy. And that's what I teach my young ladies. Let your name be your legacy and let it mean something.
Amen.
All right, cool. That's the recruit, man. I tell you, boy. Just make sure to clip this. Anybody you want to know why the phone is blowing up, why Coach's phone is blowing up? Now you know. That's the passion. That's the man. Marcus, what you got? Marcus, you on mute?
Coach Gordon, thank you for joining us this evening. Oh, I'm on mute. Okay.
No, you're good.
I have a question. Okay, I have a question for you. Actually, I got like 4, but I know I can't get them all in. But one thing I wanted to ask, and I've watched a couple of the episodes that you've been on the 220 QB Club, and you've talked about building the culture and the sisterhood. So I wanted to ask, how much roster building and chemistry, or how much of a challenge, if it is a challenge, to build it in the climate that we have today with the transfer portal having become more prominent, and we're seeing players who had pretty good seasons and maybe leading their teams opting to jump in the portal, and just the overall roster churn that's proliferating collegiate athletics?
Well, it's important to do your homework. And one thing that I know since I've been in this game, character was #1 for me. Now, then, and forevermore. Because I pride on my ability to coach and develop not just basketball players, but successful young women. Because what I have is a life skill that I'm teaching my young ladies, using that orange ball as the resource and the tool to get them where they need to be at in life, period. So character always was high on me, and then coachability. So as I'm looking through the portal, or I'm looking at junior college, or I'm looking at a high school senior, the first thing I ask the coach, I want to know about the character, the attitude, the coachability, discipline, because I'm not going to waver. I'm old school with a new flavor twist, but discipline and respect is earned. It's not demanded. So my young ladies have to come in with that, because no matter how you grow up in your home, I tell them, this is my family. I'm the head of the household. I do not know how your parents ran their household, but in my household, you're going to abide by my rules. And you're going to be respectful anywhere you go, whether I'm there or not. So that's when the character part comes in, because they representation not only of me, but FAMU University. Remind you, the #1 HBCU school in the country. So character has always mattered to me, and I want to know about their character, coachability, and of course they got to have some ability to play basketball. But as you've seen that, I helped the Ariana Grizzle transfer in from preseason #2 to a bench player last year into the POY from a 7th place team. So that speaks for itself, what I'm capable of doing under my coaching and development. So all I can say is everybody need to watch out. And that's not a threat. It's just I know who I am and whose I am. And I have the ability to bring out the best of everybody that I encounter. So now I got a full summer because, see, most people don't understand. I took the job on August the 14th and school started August the 28th. I did not have a summer. So I'm going to go back to one of the questions that we talked about, I alluded to, is that the non-conference was like our preseason in the summer. It built us. Everything that we were going to see and face in the SWAC, we faced in non-conference. Now, we were 1-10. We should have been better than that, but we were close. But I was coaching some young ladies that haven't never won before. I mean, we leading at halftime. We should have won 5. We could have been 5-6. We could have easily been 6-6, and we could have easily been 7-5. But it just didn't work out. But what it did was it showed us, then give us the big head that the trust into the system, trust in me, trust the process, and go to work. And everything else will take care of itself. That's why we knew that we could get to the tournament if we just continued to let the cake bake in the oven and bring it out at the right time. Some of the SWAC teams peaked too early. We needed to be playing our best basketball at the time. And I'm willing to say here tonight, if Miss Delancey don't go down, it could have been another outcome in that game.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Coach Gordon. I appreciate the answer.
So Marcus, I know you said you had a couple, so I'm gonna throw it back to you in a second. But I gotta ask Coach. Speaking of our POI, one thing you brought up today, that she was the unanimous Player of the Year in the SWAC. I think you had said that, and I know there were a lot of favorites or people outside talking, but it was good to know that she was a unanimous selection. I've said this a couple times. If you look at that, there was a 7-game stretch that I keep saying Ariana, she was unbelievable. I mean, they were a walking bucket, as I like to say. She was scoring any way possible at the free throw line. I think she had a game where she was like 20 of 24. And I mean, she shot like 3 of 12, but she was 20 of 24. And I'm just like, who does that? Who goes 20 of 20? I mean, Ariana Grizzle, that's who. And then she'll have another night, drop 30 on you. But all of it started after that UAPB road game. I just want a confirmation. You can say it, yes or no. Was there anything said after, because she was like a different person after that game? Was there anything you said to her, or was it just a light bulb went off for her? Anything you did schematically or differently? Just talk about that little stretch and what that meant for not only Ariana, but the team.
It was just a conversation at that time. You know, everybody's still trying to find themselves. And you got to go back to, we didn't have the summer to work out and get to know one another. As we was going through practice, it was evident that she was our best scorer besides her and Olivia Delancey, right? And Olivia was still considered a pup. Ariana had the SEC and understand what that looked like being in Alabama for 3 years. So at that time, I had a conversation, and I was like, the team going to go as you go, Ariana. Now, that's not to put pressure on you. You either going to handle it. Pressure either breaks the pipe or make diamonds, right? So it's not to try to put pressure on you, but I knew at that time she had enough arsenal in her bags to propel us to the next level. And I also had to get her teammates to buy into understanding that Ariana is our go-to player. But I told her you have to earn that. I can't just say, hey, Ariana is our go-to player. You're going to have to earn that respect from your teammates. And that's up to you. Because every time we go a little bit further in the season, it becomes a little bit closer to your end. And you can't go back and have the season again like everybody else on your team. So Ariana, the hourglass has been flipped. Now you need to think about what you want to do. I'm here. If you want to get better, we can talk about it. But it was a conversation, and she was willing to take on that challenge. And that's the thing about Ariana. She wants it. Just as quiet, yes, ma'am. Sometimes I wanted her to just say, shut up, coach, or do something. But it was always, yes, ma'am. I kept my foot right down her neck. I kept that foot on her the whole time. And all she would do is, yes, ma'am. Never disrespect me at one time. And that's all you can ask. And that was the reason why she turned into the player that she was. It was always there. I just brought it out of her. A lot of the coaches and a lot of the people around knew that she had the talent. I mean, that's why she went to Alabama, because there was a talent that they saw when she was playing with the Canadian teams. National teams, but I just had to bring it out, and that was the thing that Ariana came in. She told me, "Thank you for reinventing my love, reinventing or helping me to love the game that I once loved before." So it was like, yeah, it was a conversation. It was just the relationship. I know a lot of them, they talk about with Dawn Staley how she has a relationship with her players, and I do the same thing. That's the only way you're gonna get them to play hard. That they got to know that you care, in order for you to get the best out of them and allow you to push them. You're still going to get resistance, but at the end of the day, when they know that you care and you'll give them the shirt off your back or you'll do anything for them, they'll go through a wall for you. This new generation, even though they're going to question you going through the wall. Coach, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it? Why are they going through the wall? When I would just go through the wall for Summit, don't say nothing, they're going to question me going through the wall.
Yeah, so true. So true. Kelvin, go ahead.
I told them, I'm going to tell y'all a little joke real quick. I say, y'all the generation that you are paid to go to sleep and you wake up and quit.
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
I got you. I got it.
That probably went over some people's head. It did.
It probably went over some people's head. That's right. Yep. If you ever worked or coached with young people, there it is right there. Yep.
And then you just try to teach them that once you quit, you'll quit at anything because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. You got to push yourself to the limit. Because I used to feel the same way with Summit, had us running and running. And my body had been in shock since I had been there, right? As a basketball came easy to me. I didn't really have to work hard in high school. Triple team, double team, I still could average double points and double rebounds. I didn't never have to work hard and push myself. So I was afraid that if I pushed myself too far, I might pass out. I never passed out. So that's the message that I get to my young ladies. You're not going to pass out. You're going to be fine. I promise you. Just get to the limit. You'll see. But if you don't allow yourself to be pushed to the limit to see that you can go through that wall, you'll never know it if you don't try. But once you quit, it's going to be easy to quit at anything.
Yes, indeed. Kelvin, go ahead.
Coach, I want you to talk about your first tour of SWAC basketball, women's basketball. There were some very impressive wins out of conference. Arkansas and UAPB come to mind. I know Jackson State had some out of conference wins, Grambling, and Jackson State's getting ready to take on UConn. We had an out of conference win, FAMU, and we had a couple of. So just talk about the state, your impression, your first year with SWAC basketball.
I'm very impressed. It was ironically, I'm a basketball junkie, an advocate for sports, especially women's sports. But I'm a great football fan, so I love FAMU football. But just going back last year, this time when I was leaving Cincinnati, I was watching the SWAC tournament and had no idea a year later that I would be participating in the SWAC tournament. But the SWAC is in a great place. That's why you saw a lot of the teams beat some of the other players, even though we are the lowest on the totem pole. Everybody, even when they've been Division II and come up and become Division I, they still higher than us. But the SWAC conference is very, very good. Guard-oriented, great guards in there. You got some forwards that stretch forwards, undersized, shoot the three, power, athleticism. So I'm anxious to see what Grambling is going to do and Jackson State against UConn. But when I look at it, I mean, the guards rule. You got press, you got offense, you got defense. You got coaches dressing on the sideline like it's their Sunday best. I mean, it's entertaining, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And like I said, I'm so excited. If you can't see it in my face and feel it, I'm so excited about next year. I can't hardly wait. I'm ready for it. I was built for it, and I understand what it's about. We're going to be pressing each other. I told him I want to bring Nolan Richardson on the women's side, 94 feet of hell to FAMU. I'm a defensive-minded coach. I scored a lot of points at Tennessee, but I told him I'm so competitive. I hate. My sister say, don't use that word. I say, I do. I hate losing more than I love winning. So I was a competitor. I played on both sides of the ball, and that's what I'm teaching my young ladies. Like, go ahead on and knock them out on the offensive end. and clap back at them on the defensive end and lock them up. So that's my mentality going into this offseason. I'm super excited. And it's a lot of great basketball and a lot of great coaches and teachers of the games in the SWIKE. So the SWIKE is in great hands. And before you know it, I would like to say kudos to Tamika and being ranked in the top 25, moving up in mid-major poll, and Grambling State not far behind them. First-year head coach. Kudos to them. Good luck to both of them again in the tournament.
All right, Marcus, go ahead.
Yes, once again, Coach. I kind of like to follow recruiting for FAMU. So that's one thing I don't know any little tidbits as of yet, but I wanted to ask with the landscape of recruiting. Now, how are you going to balance between transfers and high school recruits? And also, I guess more importantly, over the last few years, we've noticed our previous coaches have had kind of on again, off again relationship with local talent and in-state talent, and kind of picked a little bit, but not as much, especially when FAMU DRS had a few state championship teams and we didn't get any players to come to FAMU from FAMU DRS. And so to what degree will you have that balance between transfers with the proliferation of the portal, high school students, and having in-state or local Big Bend recruiting?
It will be definitely a mixture. And with the FAMU League community, alums, supporters, farewell that's going to jump on this bandwagon because the train is coming, you need to just know that the women's basketball team is in great hands. I established contacts over 20 years ago, and I still have them. If I showed you my phone of the coaches that's coaching and know of young ladies leaving their program at the Division I level and want their young ladies to come play for me, it's unreal. I didn't even have to go look in the portal from some of the calls in my phone. You can hear it in the background. It's been pinging since Monday, actually since Saturday, that people were giving me a heads up that some people might be jumping into the portal. So as far as recruiting, because of what we've done as a HBCU academically, and now basketball, what I brought here to FAMU women's basketball, I tell you, the sky is the limit. Right now, I told them my head hurt right now. I have a migraine of just trying to make sure that the young ladies that I bring into this culture, this sisterhood, is the correct fit. Because I got to do my young ladies justice, that I push them and showed them what this culture and what winning and what success look like in the classroom, on the basketball court, and in the room. So I have a lot of decisions that I have to make. And I said it earlier in the 220 Club that some young ladies you might see back, some of them you might not. It's not that I don't love them. It's a business. And it's a decision that I have to make. And that's one of the reasons that VPAD Tiffany hired me to make those hard decisions. But I'm going to tell you that once again, next season, you would definitely see a product, and they would definitely have my DNA, because some of those young ladies that I choose from the portal, from JUCO in high school would definitely resemble my energy and my passion and my knowledge for the game. And don't forget, we signed 2 young ladies early in the early signing period in November. Eve Alexander, full-time state champion in Louisiana. And we got one POY leaving. We got another POY, Demaya Griffin coming in from East Georgia State Junior College. So just know that you're in great hands. It's more to come. I like to say we coming. So
that's right. That's right.
Thank you, Coach.
We coming.
Coach, I love the honesty about the roster management. I mean, I think it's rare, because I think a lot of people hide behind it. Because they're I mean, we understand with the portal and everything, and you have to be able to put a team together that embodies what you want. So I appreciate that honesty and you know, it's an honesty that I'm sure you're if you haven't already had, you're going to have with the young ladies and kind of deciding, you know, who to offer those opportunities to. I got to ask about Nashani Gilbert, and from day one, Shani, I mean, and I saw it. I think I've had an appreciation since day one, early in the season, especially when I came to the first home game, and then you see it again in the season, and then I saw it. Well, she's wearing a mask. She's wearing a mask, but she's still in there boxing out. I don't know if Nashani's a guard, forward, a center. I feel like she plays all 5 positions. She can play all 5. I mean, talk about Nashani, if you will. And then I know we got a few questions that people in the chats and emails have asked, but I just want you to take a second and talk about Nashani, because I don't know if there's an Iron Woman award that you give or if there's something. I mean, when we do our awards, we might have to come up with an award for Nashani, because I thought she was just everything and everywhere for your team. But if you and then of course, if there's anybody else that you want to talk about from this past season, please feel free to do. But I just want to hear you praise or talk about Nashani, because she was it. I thought she was she was awesome this year to watch play.
Yeah, I told him that, I had the conversation early on when you asked me about Ariana. Ariana was our go-to player, but Nashani is called the glue player. She gets the hard hat award, right? It doesn't matter. If I go tell the point guard to go guard 6'5", Angel Jackson, she was going to do it and do it well. So she was that piece. She was the glue that kept everything together. She was the one that's going to take the charge. She was the one, if you get beat, she was the one communicate. She was everything, like you said. She didn't let the mask stop her from her nose to a tooth, what had been from her feeling that fell out way in November the 20th. And it didn't have time to back in January. Face swole up. That didn't stop Nashani. Anything didn't stop Nashani. She was the heartbeat of the team. Very outspoken, coming from a junior college, was used to scoring, and she accepted her role. She was willing to do whatever it took for us to be successful. So hats off, kudos to Nashani for what she did all year long. And a lot of people wouldn't recognize that, but I made sure that the team knew that Nashani was the key to this team. We went as she went too, because she was giving us everything. When Shani wasn't around and she missed a couple of games, and when she went there, I said, "You guys, where Shani at?" I mean, I knew Shani was going to be on the help side. You get beat, I knew she was going to take a charge. I knew she was going to rotate. I didn't even have to look. I knew on the help side, I'm already going back because I know they're going to call charge. That was the confidence I had in the Shani. And the other thing is about it, I go back to when one of the commentators at Detroit Mercer, "Oh, this is her 3rd school in 3 years." Well, right, you're right. But at Northwest Florida State, she got her AA. At Daytona State, she got her AS. And next month, 2 months in May, she'll have her bachelor's degree here. So she's been in 3 different schools, and she got 3 different.
That's right, 3 different degrees. Speak on it.
So
put some respect on that name. Yeah,
put some respect on her name when you use that name. And it's a lot of stuff that Nashani just battled just to be on the court in itself. She's tough. She's tough as nail. And it'll be hard to replace. It's nice to say that Nashani's graduating and she'll be back for another year. So that is a key piece, ingredient to the success of our team, because she's going to be willing to do whatever. And when you have a young lady like that and you build around her, and the recruits see that when they come in, and I talk about that, who would want to play with a young lady like that, that'll sacrifice and give her all for the sake of the team for winning, give up her ability to score because she know that she needed to play defense and rebound and do that at undersized players. So kudos to Nashani. A lot of the stuff that she did does not show up on the stat sheet, but believe me, Coach Pressure talks about it in the locker room and in the film sessions. And she has an IQ. She knows the game, right? Mm-hmm. She'll tell you, "I'm not the best ball handler, coach. I'm not this and I'm not that." And I told the team, put some respect on the name. Shani knows the game. And if she's talking to you, listen.
There it is.
So you did it. And you just talk about a lot of stuff. You had Delancey, my only recruit, to come in, and you asked her to take on a load. School started the August the 28th. Well, she was on campus that Wednesday and came back on August the 27th. 3 days later, and started school. So she was kind of like thrust into the fire pit. And that's kind of hard as a young, even though she's a sophomore, she's a young sophomore. She just turned 20 yesterday. To put her in the fire, and that's why I said if she don't go out with that concussion, we can have a different result. But she brought her best as the second best player on the team. Her and Ari was willing to be Robin and Batman and Robin. And she said out of her mouth, Ariana, you can be Batman. I would love to be Robin. So when you have a selfless kid that's willing to sacrifice, because she scored 18, almost 19 points at St. Pete last year as a freshman. So was willing to give up her points and allow Ari to take the show. You couldn't ask for three better people to build around. And then you have the two sisters, Ina and Yvette, coming from Spain. And then Ina just finding her own role on the team. She ended up being one of our best on-ball defenders at the end of the year. And once again, we miss her too. So you talk about a lot of missing pieces, and we were still able to get there and do something that people didn't think that we can do. Ina goes down and shoot around when we getting ready to play Cookman. So you think about a coach that's already minus Perry, minus some injuries that we had early on, and now you hear about Ina not being able to play. And that's when I knew, thank God I had prepared my walk-ons, which is Naya Bostic, that family tradition.
Yeah.
Her sister was the first female drum major, right? And so it's been in a family, and she decided to quit the Marching 100 to come be a part of the FAMU women's basketball team. And then you have Amaya Lord, that's just a freshman on campus, and she went from being the manager to when one of my other walk-ons was let go, that she stepped into the role, and she played the last 4 minutes to help us clinch a bid to our first white tournament. So you just look at everything that happened on. You have Jaleel Sharp, and you have a lot of players that they call them misfits. They didn't average a lot of points where they was at. So you talked about you had people that had then wrote them off. But Coach Pressure believed in them. And I said in my press conference when I spoke to him, like, hey, I know all about you guys. I got an offense for you, and it's going to work out fine. Just trust the process, but let the cake stay in the oven. And I told him about 2 weeks ago, the cake is ready to come out. It's time for us to show everybody what we're made of. And we was able to pull it off and win with a lot of different support from everybody. And like I said, we battled injuries from the beginning of the season, concussions when Annabella Lourdess was playing her best basketball. She suffered concussion, is out for 10 days, and she was just getting her groove. Then you lose Nashani, then you lose Ina, then Olivia goes down in the first game early in the third quarter. So we was able to do and work. We worked a miracle this year, but a lot of kudos to the ladies and for allowing me to push them and just trusting in me. Everybody had a piece, but Nashani was definitely a key. And like we talked about Ariana, there was a big chance if Delancey stayed being consistent that she could have been the newcomer of the year. Nashani could have easily been defensive player of the year, guarding all the different positions. But those young ladies are hungry. They already didn't text me and say, Coach, I'm ready to work. I said, all right, boot camp start March the 25th. That's Monday. Go get y'all 10-day rest, and I'm getting mine. And it's back to business. And I told them, hey, it's a new chef in town, and it ain't going to be that we start from August. We getting ready to start from March, and that's going to be different. And I just hope they allow me to push them and trust the process. And good things should be happening on the hill, the highest of the seventh hill.
Hey, that's what's up. Okay, a couple questions here we got for you, Coach. Some people who've been chiming in. You may have touched a little bit on this when it comes to like the recruiting here from Melissa Wilson. Any cities that you plan to target for recruiting? How does your recruiting budget or how does the recruiting circuit work for you, or will it work for you?
Well, that's what I've been advocating, and that's why that $60 to donate to that 0007 plays an important part, because during the year, I don't like to get out because I got to recruit my players because everybody know about the portal. I need to be home recruiting my players that's in my own locker room as much as I need to be out recruiting. So if I can do a lot of the recruiting in the summer to the AAU events, which is now in April, May, There's some in June that we don't attend, and you have July. Those are my biggest moments that I go out and recruit during the AA season. Then when there's time as a first year head coach for me to get out and see the young ladies in their high school, at their high school basketball teams, there's a chance for me to get out. But the most important time is during the summer, in the fall, spring with AAU basketball.
With that, and just I don't know if Marcus or Kelvin, if you had a question related to that, but the question that popped into my head was in terms of your staff. I mean, will you look to add to the staff so that maybe you guys can be in more places? Because if I'm not mistaken, you only had 2 assistants on staff, or am I right or wrong on that? Or maybe you had 3 in total.
I had 3, and okay. The NCAA has upped that number to 6, so that would have been 4, including myself as a head coach and 2 other coaches. Fortunately, I had, if you didn't realize, I had 2 volunteer coaches. The gentleman, the tall gentleman, the Spanish, that is Coach Brooke, Florida State head coach husband, that came over and volunteered with me. So that was a blessing. And the other gentleman, James Henry, is my best friend of 40 years. We've been friends since the 8th grade, and he lives here in Tallahassee. So he volunteered his time. So I had 2 volunteer coaches and 3 full-time assistants. Yes, I will be looking to add to that coaching, my coaching staff. Yes, sir.
Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick, I got a question about camps. Are you looking to do any basketball camps? Are you going to be able to, or are you going to kind of rely on the AAU circuit for this spring and summer?
No, I'm gonna have a elite basketball camp in August, and I should have those dates in there. We're still trying to sort out those dates in August. It's either gonna be that making sure that they're done with AAU, where I can bring those actually young ladies to campus and see our beautiful campus and facilities that we have. So those dates are either going to be that first weekend in August or that second weekend in August, right before school starts. So we're going to look to do an elite camp. And in June, I'm looking to do a kids camp or a teen camp. And I will get those dates out. I'll come back on and I'll tell you about
please do.
Please do.
All right.
Hey, Brian, let me jump in real quick with something that ties into what our coach just said. This is one of my other questions. Given the pedigree of program that you had when you as a student athlete at Tennessee and your travels and your coaching career and what you were brought upon, what would be the ideal level of support to get you where you want this program to be? It could be either something physical or a dollar amount or a combination of both. The things that you would like, things that you would need, or things that you want to take it where you see the potential for the FAMU women's basketball program.
Well, money talks, and everybody know how the economy and where we at with the cost of living. When you look at the stipend for Floridians in state, it's not much for us to go out, but it still costs dollars. And you look at geographically where we at, to fly into Tallahassee Regional, you only got 3 different airlines. That's Silverway, and we don't want to get on there. No offense to them. And then you got Delta, and you have American. Or you go 2 hours to Jacksonville, Southwest, or you go 2 hours to Panama City to have those Southwest flights. So it costs money. And now you can fly in parents, grandmother. If parents have been divorced and remarried, you have your traditional family now and married. So you can bring in 5 people, and everybody know how much round trip tickets cost now for young ladies to come to campus. Also, we in competition, real estate, everything costing now. So you get to bring young ladies in and entertain them for 48 hours. So you want to have a good time and take them out to restaurants. You got to pay for the hotel. You pay for the entertainment of up to 5 people for 48 hours. Then you just talk about the travel, myself or one of my staff members to go out and travel, rent a car, hotel, the package. You will not believe how much a recruiting packet costs at an AAU event. a Division I packet, you can pay anywhere from $500 for one packet, and each additional coach is $250, and a pass just to get in is $75 or $150, and that's just for a 3-day tournament. And then the next 3 days that you get, you pay that same amount over again. Every tournament that you go to, and I have those 4 coaches, we have to pay another entry fee, which can be up to $500 per coach, depending on if you're going there by yourself or an additional coach, up to $250 for an additional coach. So if you can see there, money needs to be raised just for me to have the flexibility to go out and recruit in the summer when it counts the most. And I can give my young ladies that I have on campus all the love and attention that they need. And I can send my assistant coaches out during the year. But when you talk about a dollar amount, I'm gonna sit down with my ADVP and see what way my budget is. But I know I done had recruiting budgets up to $90,000 or $100,000 to be able to go out and to recruit. So you're talking money. I talked to the 220 club about just having a shooting gun where my young ladies don't need a rebounder. They just put the balls in the gun and they spit it out. They don't have no reason not to get in the gym. They don't need nobody. They just got the gun. I done bought them an extension cord to hook up to the men gun. We would like to have our own gun where we can get in the gym. I talked about Mac computers. Synergy is where all the games are stored. We can watch everybody. Synergy is a new cheat sheet. When back in the day when Coach had the VHS and she had to write down the number. Now Synergy breaks it down. It lets you know if you're good in a P&R, which is a pick and roll. What's your free throw percentage? Are you better going right? Are you better going left? How many? What's your field goal percentage? What teams? Are they better offensively? Are they better defense? Are they better against a man? Are they better against a zone? So all that cost money. Synergy by itself is $9,000 for the whole year. If you get the full package, then they got a new system that helps you recruit and break down the scouting part that we give to our young ladies. And that's another $3,500 by itself, just to get the necessary tools that you need in order to scout and prepare your young ladies. And this year, I tell you, for me to want to save a lot of money, I told my staff, we're going to be the hardest working staff on campus and maybe in the country. And it kind of showed that we worked hard with what little we had and how much we accomplished with what little we had. And that was just us putting our head down because I'm the leader. If I'm the head coach and I can get my hands dirty, they definitely can do that as assistant coaches. So, but those are things that that we really need. And those other, you call them shooting arms, so you shoot up where they have them a fake defender, and we don't really, but we have practice guys, and they like to have gear and a lot of gear and nutrition and snacks. I try to keep the locker room full of snacks. So kudos to our alumni wherever we went. Mr. Tommy from the 220 club, the club helps coordinate the alumni to bring whatever it is that my young ladies write down on a list to have snacks on the bus. We traveling next year. You also asked me what, as a first year head coach, what was other things about the SWAC. We play on Saturdays and Mondays. We take off early Friday morning, 6 o'clock sometimes, but we're still going to the southwest part, and we as deep south as you want to be, going to the southwest. So we can have an 8 hours and 45-minute drive without a stop going to Ruston, going to Baton Rouge. And we get there and you only have an hour and a half. You get off the bus and it's time to go practice. And then before you know, practice 5 to 7, you got a 2 o'clock game on Saturday. So in my perfect world, we'll leave on Thursday. We won't miss class. We'll practice like we always do. After class, we're already missing Friday. We drive through the night. We get there. We get a good night, good morning, sleep in. And then we have time to recuperate, then go to practice, get a good meal, breakfast, get up, have a good meal. And that will help us out a lot when we're going to Mississippi, when we're going to Louisiana, and we taking the bus that we can leave that night before the night of. So, and that's going to take monies because that'll give us an extra day at the hotel that we can spend versus a flight. I mean, my ladies get comfortable on the bus, but it's just like, it's kind of hard getting off the bus, going right to practice on Friday, then playing on Saturday at 2 o'clock. So, I mean, all that money could help the student athletes besides summer school too. Let's not miss summer school. is coming up here too. Need summer school dollars so all my young ladies can make sure they get into summer school, and they need to at least take 6 hours of credit hours to receive the full Pell Grant and everything that they would need as a student athlete.
And that schedule is going to change next year a little bit if if it actually comes to pass as it's rumored, where now the women's games in the conference are going to be on Thursday and Saturday, and there won't be double headers anymore. So that's going to be a change to the travel, where it'll just be your team possibly traveling on the road, you know, on a Wednesday or Tuesday night, leaving Tuesday night to get to wherever you need to be. So I know that's going to create its own unique challenges, but some interesting opportunities. You touched on, Coach, a couple of the questions that I know people had. You had, and you talked about this list in the 220 Club, about curating that list and putting together something that Rattler Nation can visibly see and know what you need. You talked about the gun. You talked about the other things. You know, and hopefully that's something you and VP Sykes can create, that needs list, you know, because you know, folks are very visual these days. So
Yes.
you know, if they like that list you just came up with, if anybody was taking notes, woo, that was a list. But that's the stuff that needs to go on the list, because that's what every winning program has. It's part of what happens. So yeah, I'm up on that.
Yes, I mean, the coaches do the X and O's, and sometimes we over exaggerate the X and O's. The players make plays. So I tell my players that all the time. The offense is built to get you a shot, but I can't make the shot for you. You have to make the shot. So that goes down to recruiting. You got to have the athletes that are capable of knocking down that shot, right, or defending the ball. And it takes dollars to go out and recruit them in. And, you know, as you look at everybody else in different conferences, they talking NIL. So we ain't even bringing that up yet. NIL money. I'm able to recruit great athletes from other divisions and SWITE, other than SWITE conferences, to come because of the prestige, reputation, and name that FAMU has. So we're not even talking NIL, which a lot of the young ladies, and you see where it's at on the men's side, or where it can go at on the women's side, i.e. Angel Reese, i.e. Caitlin Clark, some of the bigger stars, Paige with UConn. So, you know, we got our hands full, but as I say, I'm not worried about the Joneses. I'm worried about what we're doing here at FAMU. And I know what winning looks like for FAMU. And that's all my focus is. I don't worry about what's going on out there. I just know there ain't nobody going to outwork me. And that's the only thing that we need to know, that I'm going to work hard. And I'm going to always be passionate. And I love this game too much to let it go side. So we in great hands. But yes, I can, myself and VP AD Sykes can come up with a list and put it on there, because it's just like my student athletes. Some are visual. So I have to have the TV out on the film, on the court, and I go and show them the visual. And someone can just pick it up by going through the play. So the same way we have those donors, they need to be visual and see the list. And I understand that's your hard-earned dollars, and you want to know where it's going to. And I have no problem with communicating. I want to be able to thank everybody personally that donates. That's why I stay on top of the foundation. And I want to know weekly when money's coming in, so I can personally text you, call you, and say thank you for your support, because every penny, every dollar counts. It's to enhance and give my young ladies experience that they never experienced before. Because when I go back and look at myself as a student athlete, that's exactly what Pat Summitt did to me. She gave me culture coming from a small town, a single parent home, that I might not have experienced without basketball. So those are the same experiences that I want to give to my young lady, because I know they life-changing experiences, and help build relationships that last forever. And that's the sisterhood that I ain't gonna say creating, that I've created, because this year one that I've created here at FAMU. And like I say, it's just more to come, bigger and better.
Coach, you've been gracious with your time. I'm gonna just throw 3 more questions at you, Coach. I mean, I appreciate you hanging in there. Rattler Nation loves this. So I mean, they're just throwing questions left and right. Okay, one was about the nutrition table that you asked. I think you talked about a little bit, but how is the nutrition recovery for your team, and how much of a need is that?
I mean, that's vital. Nutrition is a important piece. I teach my young ladies, you're not an automobile. Your body, you can't trade it in and get a new car. This is your body. And proper sleep, the right food, nutrition, and we talk about it. There's only certain snacks. I don't buy sugar drinks. I Gatorade, Powerade to replenish, but they get water. And because being hydrated propels you to be the best that you can be, not try. It gives you the best option to be the best person that you can be out on the basketball court. So it is highly necessary. And we do have a nutrition, and we talk about that all the time, but replenishing the body, teaching them the right food groups, the protein bars. I get it all for them, and snacks, and I put it into our locker room. We have like a little suite, but like I said, the display for football, which the young ladies don't understand, football is 60 men strong. It's just 15 of us. So there's going to be a different display of what they need and what we need, but it's just to be able to walk into the locker room and it's right there at their discrepancy to pick it up. And that's what I've tried to do with them. And they do give me a list, and we go off that list. Some of them I X out because there's too much sugar in it, and they need more healthy to replenish and give them the proper nutrition that they need for their bodies. But it's vital for them to have that. And that's just like extra dollars that I go out and I can buy nutrition and snacks when we're not on the road, for the locker room, when we're at home, when we're practicing, and they coming in and out. Because sometimes we go practice 5 o'clock, 5:45 in the morning. So I'm not expecting them to cook. I would like to have something, juice, fruit juices, orange juices in the refrigerator, and fresh fruit, apples, bananas, oranges, clementines, I call them tangerines, bananas, apples, for them to be able to grab, and nutrient bars, some little miniature cereal with the skim milk, almond milk, 2%, whatever they now skim, to provide for them. So it becomes a home away from home because we spend so much time in the gym.
Yeah. Good stuff. Next question has to do with the future scheduling. Say, Coach, how soon do you begin looking for teams to schedule for next season?
It's a secret.
Uh-oh.
But y'all asked to pay for, y'all would want to be play with a team from the MEAC to bring back a little bit of rivals. Well, your prayers was answered. So I got a MEAC team list. I'm waiting. The contract is already in my email. I got some Power Fives to bring in some guaranteed money, and the contracts are in my email waiting for my signature. So it's on and popping. I've been working. My best friend, I gave him that duty. We've been working on that since I took the job in August, and we've been working on it since October. So I think we're about 3 games short, and we will have a non-conference schedule for you. One that I'm thinking y'all would really, really like, that we put together.
And some home games, right, Coach?
Yes, not just
those.
There
we go.
We have some home games. We have some
That's
home
what we're
games.
talking about.
Yes.
Gotta have some home games, man.
Yes.
I hated seeing y'all out there, our past teams out on the road for the whole season. You never get a chance to know the girls when everybody's on the road. You don't get a chance to get to know them.
Yes, and that's the other key that I talked about, alluded to at the 220. We're gonna do a better job of getting our young ladies out in the community, and definitely getting more student support in the stands. I'm gonna have my young ladies, if I have to drive the golf cart myself. And we're gonna let everybody know I'm gonna get me Bart the cheerleader megaphone, and we're gonna go out, and coach is gonna be on there. I'm already loud. I'm gonna be louder and letting them know, and nobody don't have no problem not to know there's a basketball game that's gonna be in town. So we're gonna do more in the community. I love to have more than one kids day where you get that 9,000-10,000 screaming people in the stands, whether they're cheering for you or against you. You just know the seats are full with the kids. So we're looking about Kids Day. So middle school, high school, get with me. Let's plan this thing about having a Kids Day in the non-conference season. Because I tell you, once we get those kids in the seats, they're gonna love the product that we're gonna put out on the floor, and they're gonna come back.
That's awesome. Also, one more question for you about the tour. I mean, there's plans for that summer strike tour that VP Sykes likes to or will kind of do along with the alumni chapters. Do you have plans on going out on the tour this summer? Is any
Of
talk
course.
happening there?
Of course, Coach Pressure is a people person. I got people skills. So I love people. I want to go out and meet the people and let them get to know me because some people be intimidated by my accolades. I'm just a good old country girl. My accolades are my gift from God. But I'm just as homegrown as they come and very personable. And I like to get to know everybody on one-on-one base. And like I said, God is in first in my life and God is love. So I love everybody. Whether you love me or not, I have nothing but love for you. And I'll definitely be out on the tour. If y'all need me to speak to different groups, I'm willing to come out and speak. I love speaking and empowering young people. That's my passion and that's my gift to give back to the young people to empower them. So yes, I'll be out on a tour, but I'm willing to come out and speak at women group, children groups, boys and girls, Girl Scout, you name it, big brother, little brother, whatever program, I'm willing to come out and bring a few of my young ladies with me also, because they are the ones that you really want to see anyway and get to know them.
Folks, here it is now. Go ahead and scan it. If you haven't already, go ahead and scan the QR code right there on the screen. Get your phones out, or you could just simply go to the Rattler Athletic Fund. If you know where it is, you know how to get there. 0007 is the code for women's basketball. Or when you go to the link, obviously you can just go to women's basketball. $60 is the minimum. $60 for every point scored, but you can always give more because, as you heard from Coach, the needs are plenty. And we got a lot of work to do. We're building this thing. We coming. We coming. Look, I can't say it enough. I can't say it. I get killed, Coach, every time I say it. But when you say it, it sounds great. So we coming, Coach. Tell them we coming, Coach.
We coming, and I want to have a day where fans can just come in and have a brown bag lunch and come watch practice, and you can come see the product for yourself. My practices are always open. I welcome you guys to come in. Anyway, we in Lawson and there's classrooms up there. So the doors are always open. So won't we just make it a date? Have a brown lunch bag and let's just get together and we could talk about it, meet the young ladies, sign some autographs. I would love to make it a day. Let's have a fan day like we do for football. Come on in. I need y'all to come on and join in. We got something special. And I'm really, really excited about being back in the state of Florida, in my own state, as a Floridian. So come on out, come on support. We need your dollars. I'll tell you, they're going to benefit us in mighty, mighty ways. And my young ladies, I can tell you, we're going to appreciate you and thank you in advance. And for I know that it's coming. So, hey, $60, sacrifice it. Be planting in some good soil. You got some seeds that'll be coming back from it. You'll reap it. Promise you. You'll reap the benefits from it.
There it is. There it is. Well said, Coach. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you have planted into this program this season. We are excited about the future, and you got a home anytime you need to talk. No matter what the subject is, you got a spot. You got a place right here on the ONG Strike Zone. We will promote, we'll push, we'll just sit back and listen to you talk, and we can do that for a show. Whatever time you need, Coach. We appreciate you and thank you. We're excited. Congratulations. Thank you to all the ladies, all the coaches for a hard fought season. We enjoyed watching you. So to all the players and coaches, we salute you and thank you for the way you represented FAMU this past season, and we are excited about the future of FAMU basketball.
Well, thank you for having me. And here in the near future, I like to bring a young lady on, and like you said, get to know them, get to know what other than basketball. I want to say kudos to my young ladies. I knew 2 days later after I had already told them, hey, listen, this is a dress code. we're going to the reception like the nice young ladies that we are. Let them see the other side of you. So when I tell you, when we stepped off that bus and they said, look at the models.
Y'all were fly. Y'all were fly,
yeah.
Coach. They were fly. Yeah. They look good. They look good. Like they look women.
I just wanted them to see the other side of my young ladies. And that's the culture. Yeah. Right? That's the culture that I'm building. And I told each and every one of them, be comfortable in your own skin. Yes. Whoever you are, be comfortable. Because God don't judge you and us. He told us don't judge. We're supposed to love one another and build each other up. And I build up my young ladies. So I wanted them to be able to be who they are in their own skin and walk in confidence. And that's all the SWAC different officers and administrators said. Thank you for representing FAMU in the right way. So I would love for my young ladies to get on here and y'all get to know them on a personal one-on-one basis. So.
Hey, anytime, Coach, we'll probably hopefully be up there for the spring game. So, hopefully we can do some in-person conversations with anybody that you'll shuffle our way. We'll talk to anybody. I mean, we're big fans. I'm telling you, big fans. So
okay, well, Coach will be there because she's an avid football fan, and I'm gonna just let y'all know I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I'm so excited about all those pieces that we got coming in. That Steel Curry might be coming back. I'm excited.
Lord have mercy. Oh, I love it. All right. Oh, Rattler Nation, we got ourselves a good coach. We got ourselves another great coach. Another great coach that's going to do great things here at FAMU. So let's go ahead and get behind and support Coach Pressure, Coach Bridgette Gordon here. And Coach, have a good night. Have a blessed night. And we'll see you. We'll talk to you soon, Coach.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
All right. Good stuff, man. Y'all, hey,
awesome.
One more time.
Great interview.
Hey, y'all go ahead and hit that code up. Donate to the Rattler Athletic Fund. The women's basketball account is the number is 0007. And hey, any dollar amount, but $60 is the goal. $60 or more. I'd love to know. I know Mike Reed had said the number was 1667. Mike, I don't know if you've ever found out, or you talked to Dr. Friday Stroud. Find out how far away are we from hitting that number, because that's a significant number, and that's a lot of that could be a significant amount of change with just a little less than 2,000 Rattlers. So good stuff. All right, let's take a break. We're overdue for one, and then come back and kind of catch you up on some of the other sports over the weekend, and let you know what's going on up ahead. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Marcus, Kelvin. Wow, what an awesome interview with Coach Gordon, man. I tell you,
we coming. I'm 100% confident. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I heard. I was listening this morning to I think it was the Dan Patrick show with he had on Coach Staley, Dawn Staley, and he was asking her about the type of players that she gets, or the kind of players that are successful in her program, and it was almost verbatim what Coach Gordon just said. The kind of players who are disciplined. You got to be disciplined. She talked about the kind of players who, when you play for Coach Gordon, you can't be an undisciplined person. Meaning you can't be that kid. And we know how. I mean, look, you two have children. You know how your kids can be sometimes. But they may like she just said about we're a generation of kids who question. They want to know why,
They want to know why,
and like, because I told you, and they're like, because I told you so, and then they'll do it. Now they may you just like we were. You may fuss and huff about it, but you're gonna do it because you know that there's love coming from the person who asked you to do it, and they must have a reason why they want me to do this crazy thing. Right. So, or this task or this chore. Right. Mm-hmm. And you never realize it until later on in life. Well, those are the kind of kids that I think Dawn Staley was saying that she wants, that she has, because she's tough on them. And I know, I've sat right behind Coach Gordon at a game, and I'm telling you she's hard on them, but it's love there, and she's just a realist. She talks to him, but there's love behind it, and she's hard. But it's all the girls, they take it like she just said, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. It's because they know you got one of the greatest players. They're one of the greatest winners in basketball, giving you instruction, and if you can't pour in for that, if you can't buy in, man, this team.
Bryan, at the end of the day, expectations are good. We need to be ambitious in all that we do. We need to try to be excellent in all that we do. And I applaud and I love when I see our leaders instilling that into our communities and our programs. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what that. We'll maybe on another show we'll do some we'll look and see what that projected, or how many girls are going to stay, or hey, who would you keep and who would you stick around? Because yeah, I mean, there's going to be some interesting conversations there. Let me give a couple of updates here. As we can see, Mike Road Dogg gives us a score. Final score: USF 9, FAMU 6 from Tampa.
We had a 7-game winning streak going into this game. So the crew has been rolling.
Yeah, so now we head out to a weekend where we're going to be playing at Bethune. BCU, big weekend in Daytona Beach. So it's a good weekend. I'm on spring break, so maybe I'll get out to Daytona Beach. Maybe I'll spend my spring break on the beach. Get my toes in the sand and see, maybe go attend a few ball games out there. That might be a good thing to do. I haven't been out much this spring break. And I think the other live news you saw, Grambling State got a win. Grambling State gets their first ever win in the NCAA. Congratulations to Grambling. Congratulations representing the SWAC well, the regular season and the SWAC tournament. I heard, and I don't know why it was plus 400 at halftime. I don't know why I didn't put some on it, but I did play the points though. But I heard that the team they played shot like 60-something% in the first half, like 64%. That's when I knew. And they had a 9-point lead? I said, no, that's not going to last. There's no way you're going to shoot 64% in 2 halves. It's ridiculous. And sure enough, they did. Let's see. Another update. Edwin Moore drops another one on right now. Oh, looks like Alabama A&M 11-22. Alabama A&M with an 8-point lead with seconds to go. Whoa. Look at that.
Let's do it, Swag. Let's go, Swag.
One of the things I brought up on the show that AD and I did on Monday, there are 10 Division I men and women's teams playing postseason basketball this week. That is rare. I mean, usually you just get the 2 NCAA or you get, the 4, right, who go to the main tournament, and then you may get whoever gets invited to the NIT, right? So maybe you'll get 6, but you got 10 Division I men and women's programs. And then if you count what was happening, you had Fayetteville State in Division II. Their women got to the Elite 8, or no, just like, well, I guess you'd call it the Sweet 16. And then Langston is also in the national tournament. There's 12 HBCU basketball programs, men and women combined, that were playing postseason basketball this week. So it's good to see. It's good to see what's happening out here. Let's see. Final score. Alabama A&M 81, Prairie View 71. Look at the Bulldogs. Good job for them. Edwin asked, am I taking what I see from Coach? Look, I was already there. Edwin. I'm crazy like that. I'm a lot of that stuff. That's why I loved it. When I was on the sideline and listening to what she was saying, I was like, oh, I knew we got one. I said, oh, we got a coach. We got a coach. We got a no-nonsense coach who it is. It's done.
We gotta let Marcus sign off.
Yeah. Marcus, you want to get any final words in before you check out?
Yeah, real quick. Our assistant recruiting coach for football has made 2 offers today. One to a 2025 wide receiver by his size and stature. I'm guessing he's a slot out of Edna, Texas. And 2026, I guess he's a linebacker wide receiver. He's 6'4", 185. But he's a linebacker wide receiver out of his own alma mater, Yoakum High School in Yoakum, Texas. So he's putting offers out there in the great state of Texas. So we'll see what happens.
All right. I guess. All right. So I guess I'll also mention while we talking and brought up football, just kind of make news in case anybody hadn't caught the news earlier this week. Monday morning, friend of the program, Cardell Thomas, offensive lineman, had put put his name into the transfer portal. Just testing the waters, apparently. What was it that coach said? Had he been at practice? Was that Cardell had been at practice, or had not been?
No,
Gentle has been practicing.
Right. Okay.
Cardell has not been practicing.
Okay. All right. So we'll see. I know Cardell has some business interests that he's been doing here in the Tallahassee area. So, but we'll kind of see what kind of opportunities lie out there. I thought he had a good season last year, and I'd be, we're hopeful that he stays, but we can understand if there's some other schools out there. So
great kids. They both have their degrees already. They're grad students, which is why they can get in the portal already. They have some unique opportunities, and they also, I'll say, this is just the new norm in terms of collegiate athletics. The transfer portal is here to stay, and sometimes, there's opportunities, and those kids are going to take a look at some of those opportunities, especially in a situation where they've got their degrees and they've already got the production and they're looking at the next level potentially as a career. So there's great kids. Hopefully they'll come back, they'll stay. But either way, we appreciate what they've done for Rattler Nation already.
It's a free market.
You on mute, Bryan?
Yep. Any last comments, Mark, you want to get in there regarding the news on those two?
No, just wish them the best. I know the folks sometimes get a little bitter when players leave, and I'm speaking in general, not about FAMU folks, but they got the degrees, they fulfilled their obligation. And I was thinking about this last night that they're leaving as champions.
Yeah.
So they can strike out. They have a degree in one hand, and they'll have a couple of championship rings between the conference and the HBCUs in the other. So, wish them the best. Don't wish them any harm, just not begrudging it, but just be blessed and represent FAMU well wherever you go.
Well said. Well said.
All right, Marcus.
All right, I'm gonna head on out, and I will catch y'all, and I'll watch the second part of the show, and probably tomorrow morning.
All right, man. Be well.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right. While we're also on football, got to make mention of the Pro Day was announced. Thursday, March 21st, which is tomorrow, by the way. 2:00 in the afternoon. I did hear Coach say that it was open. So it's open to the public. You just got to sit in the bleachers. I don't know if it's one side or whatever. But if you wanted to come and watch, you can go. There are 18 players that will be displaying their skills to the pro scouts. And I think also Coach had said the scouts are down in Gainesville today and will be traveling. A lot of scouts are in Gainesville today, or were in Gainesville today. And then coming up to Tallahassee for ours and Florida State's
correct
Pro Day. So yeah, Marvin, it is open. Yes, it's open to the public again. There's no fee. So, you can go and watch and keep tabs on how many pro scouts you see.
I'm interested to see the volume of scouts, only because not only do we have some very capable athletes that are going to be on display from our side, but Florida State probably is projected to have a minimum of 7 to 9 players drafted in this year's draft, with a couple of potential first rounders. So the scouts will be in town, scouting. So I'm interested to see. You look at our contingent of 18. You got guys who have production. They have some of the metrics in terms of size. You got some speed. Some guys who had Power 5 experience prior to coming here. So I'm really interested to see how many of those scouts make it to this pro day.
Yeah, Hollow dropped in that coach said 20. I thought it was more in the upper 20s, but yeah, 20 something sounds about right. The list of names probably are very familiar. Now let me see. Marcus Riley, Jeremy Musa, Eric Smith, and Cameron Colvin all participated in the HBCU Combine during the Legacy. So during the Legacy Bowl, which was at the end of February. I would imagine they'll all probably do a little something at this. But the other names, or the whole list of names, you got Isaiah Major, Javen Morgan, Kamani King, Marcus Riley, Musa, as mentioned, Eric Smith, Jamarie Shareed, who was supposed to be at the Combine, but he didn't get a chance to participate. Dakar Edwards, Terrell Jennings, Dre Jones, John Graves, Cameron Colvin, Kamari Young, Darian Oxidine, David Manigo, Nick Dixon, Makati Robertson, and Stanley Minter. So that's the list of names. And again, this is 2:00 tomorrow afternoon, pro day. Man, I'd love if it were streaming. I'm not gonna lie to you. Be nice. Another nugget that came out, this is coming out from the 220 Club today. We knew that the spring game was going to be on April 13th. I don't know if we actually knew the time, though. We do now.
Yes.
The spring game will be 4:00. That's a great time. I think
it is
great time. It was toasty last year at 1:00. I'm not gonna lie. It was warm. I don't know if it's gonna be cooler at 4, but I think it might be nicer in terms of, I don't know. It just feels like at 1:00 you get you got the sun at its peak. Maybe 4:00 it might be a little on the downside. So
well, typically it's still spring. Typically it's not that hot. It was last year, but typically, low 80s is as high as it gets. So hopefully that's what it'd be clear in the high 70s would be awesome.
Yeah. The team is back. Had practice number 4 yesterday. Practice number 5 will be tomorrow. Right now, the team is going on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday schedule, really, except for the last week when they'll do Tuesday, Thursday, and then play the spring game on Saturday. There is a planned ceremony, I think, on Friday night where they will give out their rings. It's anticipated that, the championship rings will be given out on Friday the 12th. So that'll be a big day. So we'll kind of see what we wish those guys much success.
Let me just add, since we're talking about football, don't forget Investors in Champions packages are available. And I did decide to step up, me and my household, and come back into that program. I always been season ticket holders, but we back and we stepping up on the basketball side too. So we got championship programs. When you have championship programs, you have to invest in them to maintain those championships levels. So absolutely, let's push forward with this.
As mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, at the beginning of the show, of course, the official announcement that Coach McCullum will no longer, or his contract won't be renewed. He won't be brought back. served 7 years as the head coach. And it got me to thinking about the history of our FAMU basketball coaches. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying, that whoever comes into this role is really going to have to be able to manage a situation with a lot of things that other programs may have. You just heard firsthand, what some of the things, the challenges that Coach Gordon deals with on the women's program. Those same problems probably exist over in the men's side to some degree. But what I got to looking at is this list of coaches that we've had in the program. It's not pretty in terms of the win-losses, but and you can see the names there from Coach McCullum to Byron Samuels, Clem Johnson, Eugene Harris, Mike Gillespie. Was the last time that we made NCAA tournament appearances from 2001 to 07. Gillespie led 2 teams. They were tournament champions in 04 and 07. Mickey Clayton was the men's coach, 96 to 01. Those were those years when I was on my way out of FAM. Of course, that team he took was 99 when they went to the NCAA tournament. I do remember the Ron Brown era. That was rough. I remember Coach Willie Booker. Coach Willie Booker was actually my freshman year, and that was the last year before. Now, that was the last coach to end his career at FAMU with a winning record, 137 and 125 in that time period. So my question to you, Kelvin, you've seen a lot over the, we're talking how many years is this now? This is 30 years. 30 years, almost 30 years since 93 when we had the last winning coach. What's it going to take to be successful in this environment at FAMU so that the next coach doesn't end up with a losing career mark at FAMU?
If you listen to Coach Gordon, if you remember when Coach Gillespie was here, he came from the JUCO route, where he had a lot of success at TCC. I think a successful coach falls into either one of 2 categories for FAMU men's basketball. Either is someone who's got relationships and connections with the AAU circuit, can recruit, people will send them players, and they still love to grind. They hungry. They want to put in the work. We have to be careful about titles and people who come with expectations that, they were at this program. So,
celebrity names and stuff like that.
No, you got to have someone who's hungry, who going to put in the work, who are still running those circles in those AAU streets, so to speak. I could see NAIA successful head coach or a Division II successful head coach being also a good candidate potentially. But at the end of the day, because of us being a low resource school, absolutely you're gonna have to have somebody who loves the game, loves people, and gonna love to put in that work, but has their own relationships.
EA says that coaches who come, they don't have any idea, and it kind of blindsides them when they walk into what so this was always the interesting thing for AD Sykes, is that in this year, not only you know, she had to. She had to get a new football coach. Was kind of forced into making a decision that probably shouldn't have taken 29 days or however long it took. But whatever. Now we got a basketball decision. And I've heard her say that basketball is her favorite sport. You know, I know she played volleyball, but basketball is her father was a basketball player, a great basketball player at Norfolk State. That's the sport that she loves. You see her at the games. She's there on the sidelines. That's the sport she says she knows. This will be she got it right with Coach Gordon. We saw that. We know that. And it caught everybody out of left field. I'm not going to lie. None of us, when we were talking, trying to figure out, we didn't know Coach Gordon was out there, to be honest. Let's be real. But whether it be the search committee or the search firm or whoever told her about Coach Gordon might be interested and would be willing, it worked out. And it has worked out tremendously.
Absolutely. Great fit.
So, yeah. So, all things considered, what becomes your level of confidence in this process, given what we have seen already, whether it be with or without her involvement for this position? What's your confidence in getting the right person that can get us to a conference title and get us to the NCAA?
I hope that everybody comes together to do what's in the best interest of the student athletes. At the end of the day, I'll be honest, for this particular position, this kind of hire, I'm leery of a full-blown committee. I don't mind her doing the interview process once it's set up and maybe just letting select influencers or folks know the direction she's going. But ultimately, you just showed our history. There's been a lot of politics with the men's basketball hire, and it has not worked out. I just want somebody who loves the basketball, wants to be here, and is committed to winning right away. There's a lot of good players in the transfer portal. I would tell you, I'm not going to shy away from this. There are people reaching out, and so the interest is going to be high. There's some kids from Florida who started where they are from, and they're in the portal now. So there'll be an opportunity with the right hire to hit the ground running. And so I just hope that is whatever process we choose, whether we let the AD, VP do it or a combination of that and a committee, whatever the case may be, there's some really, really good candidates and some really good players out there who would love to make FAMU at home. I'm personally comfortable with the AD making a decision. So, there it is.
I am. You might be surprised when me saying this. I am too. I almost would rather her make the hire than what has been done in the past and what could be lurking in the weeds. Let me just say it like that. Okay. But yeah, there are some challenges though. EA brings up a good statement here. The way it's structured, the way in the fact that you play money games and you don't even get to keep those dollars that you go out and get from playing Power 5 programs. That's tough. And that I'm sure that's going to be a question that comes up. Like, am I raising money for my program or am I raising money for the athletic department? That's going to be a great question. Any coach that walks in and you look at the facilities, you're going to ask, do I have 24/7 access to the facilities? If not this facility, what facility? You know, that's what's going.
Bryan, at the end of the day, instead of we got to have someone who's not just asking questions, but like I say, it's going to take someone who's hungry, who's going to roll up their sleeves and make it happen for their program. I trust that person versus someone who coming in asking what can we give them, because I mean the situation is kind of the situation. The president is kind of the president at this point. So you gotta have your own contacts at the end of the day.
You might be you might have it's a Division I program operating similar to maybe some NAIA in Division II. I might put it like that. And so, yeah, I've seen people talk about over the last couple of days, Juwan Howard, Jerry Stackhouse, names who have recently been let go at, Big Ten and SEC programs. And I keep saying to myself, no, there's no way a Juwan Howard or Jerry Stackhouse would look at this situation as a no, I can't even put it into words. It's nice to dream. It's nice to dream, but this has got to be somebody who's ready to roll up sleeves, who's got connections in the as you said, in the JUCO, in the understands the transfer portal, is able to find the rough diamonds or the rough, what do they say, the rough gemstones, and polish them up. That's what it's going to take.
Someone who loves the grind, someone who loves this thing. It's got to be somebody who loves the game.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we mentioned earlier baseball. Their 7-game winning streak came to an end, but they were very successful over the weekend with a sweep of Alabama A&M at Alabama A&M. And then once again, it continues to prove
Bama.
Exactly. How great it is for our Rattler programs to go to Alabama, especially Alabama A&M. And it's like clockwork. You need a winning streak. All right, let's take a trip up to Huntsville. You can get going. Get right up in Huntsville. Sorry, any Bulldog fans that might be watching right now, that's what you are. So the guys got a sweep over the weekend. I think one of the highlights in game 1 was Gianmichael Bastardo hit for the cycle, which is crazy. The fact that you hit for the cycle, I mean, you understand how rare that is. And for those of you who aren't familiar, that means you had a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the same game, however many at-bats you get. Normally you get 4 to 5, depending upon the way the game goes. So that means every time he went up there, he got 5 at-bats. He had 4 hits, 3 runs, an RBI. Unbelievable. Great job by Bastardo hitting for the cycle. Ty Jackson, he was 3 for 4 in the game as well. So great job by the guys in that game.
The pitching in all 3 games was solid also.
Yeah.
Which is why we had I think the co-pitcher of the week for the SWAC, as well as the hitter of the week.
We did. Caleb Granger and Sebastian Greco took the pitcher of the week and hitter of the week. Granger won his contest, had a complete game with 6 strikeouts, only giving up 1 run. Had a 1.12 ERA in the contest. Opponents bat 154. Sebastian Greco had a great hitting night or great hitting series, excuse me. He went 8 for 14. That's 571, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and 8 RBIs. Touched the base 20 times, had a slugging percentage of 1.429, scored 6 runs. He drew 2 walks, got hit by a pitch for an on-base percentage of .647. Now, again, what was Greco's number of home runs? What was it last year? This is like where he starts to really start getting off here.
It was around 17, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but it was somewhere in the upper teens.
It sounds like in that ballpark. So I think he's already up to maybe like 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. So it was a great series for the guys.
Big series this weekend in Daytona.
Yeah. Big series this weekend. You can see the entire SWAC game schedule. Of course, we are at Bethune for Friday night. I think it's a 5 o'clock first pitch or 6 o'clock first pitch, excuse me. 5 o'clock is the next night. That's Saturday. So, and then on Sunday, they play 1 o'clock. So, again, it's it's 7 o'clock because I'm looking at, I forgot the SWAC puts everything in Central Time. So it's a 7 o'clock Eastern first pitch on Friday night, 6 o'clock on Saturday night, and then 1 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah. So good weekend. Any idea where I don't know. We've what are we? Are we 3-0? Are we 6? We're 6-0. 2 sweeps in the first 2 weekends in the conference play. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Yeah. All right. So good job. This will be a good series for the guys. I think Bethune is always a good test. And so we'll see what they got for us. Our softball team on the diamond did just as well. They got themselves a sweep over the weekend. Yeah. They were taking on, I believe it was Mississippi Valley State, right? Yeah, it was Mississippi Valley State. Zoriana Hughes, who threw a shutout. I believe it was in game 1 of the series against Valley. We won 6-0. Let's see. Just kind of scanning the notes here. Picked up the win. Hughes picked up the win. Out of the bullpen, she went 7 shutout innings, allowed 9 hits, walked 3, struck out 7. Brianna Duggins, offensively, 1 for 3 in that game with a triple, 2 RBI. Amaya Gaynor was 1 for 1 with a double, a walk, and an RBI. And freshman Delacia DeLeslin was 1 for 2 with a walk and 2 RBI. Hughes on the season 5-2 at that point in the season, and then the next game, I think we went scored 11, went 11-1.
Yes.
I may have the games backwards. I think I got the games backwards. I think that was. Let me look at the schedule here. I think I'm saying them backwards here in terms of what we did, because our softball team is 10-13 right now. They are on a 7-game win streak. Yeah, Friday was the 11-1 game. Saturday, we first game of the doubleheader with 9-1. Second game was 6-0. So all weekend, basically only gave up 3 runs the entire weekend. So outstanding performance, dominant performance, and another pair of players of the weeks. I feel like we're dominating this right now in both men and baseball and softball. We're putting somebody on the SWAC player of the, or hitter or pitcher of the week practically every week.
Yeah.
Zoriana Hughes again. What is that? You brushing it? What is that? She was the co-pitcher of the week. She went 2-0 in 2 appearances. Had the complete game shutout. Struck out 13 in 12 innings. Finished with an ERA of 0.58. Our good friend of the program, Nia Morgan. She went 3 for 6, drove in 6 RBIs over the weekend. She had multiple extra base hits, had 1 double, had a 3-run homer as well, a slugging percentage of 1.167, and an on-base percentage of 0.556. So congratulations to Zoriana and Naya. Zoriana has been on this list twice before. So this was her third appearance on the SWAC softball player of the week, or I'm sorry, pitcher of the week. And yeah, practically, every week as I'm seeing, we are kind of right there with somebody on that list.
Big series this weekend at Jackson State. The Mangy Tigers.
Yeah, Jackson State. Good old J State. You can see the times there. What are those? Those times are central. Those times are central. I know Edwin was just asking if I gave out the right times. Double check me on those baseball times I gave out for the for that Bethune series. I think I'm correct in the fact that it's a 7 o'clock Eastern on Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern on Sunday, and a 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. And as you can see, for softball, the 1 game on Friday night, and then I believe usually it's a double header. You can see 2 games back to back on Saturday, 1 o'clock, March 23rd, and then 3 o'clock. So it looks like, Kelvin, the SWAC, remember the last year the SWAC was kind of doing that whole 1 game a day kind of thing? It looks like they've kind of gone back to
double headers on Saturday.
What they were doing, maybe trying to save some travel
costs. Yeah. Costs and weather. The weather is unpredictable on the weekends this time of year, so they have that extra cost and still don't get all the games in. Probably is not the most efficient thing. So I think they considering all that when they made that decision. But yeah, they are back doing double headers in softball, not in baseball.
Yeah. FAMU is currently in first place in the East Division. Jackson State 4-1, but Jackson State has an overall win record of 16-7. They too are on a winning streak right now, on a 4-game win streak. We're on a 7-game win streak. And I don't think we don't play anybody. You won't have any midweek games this week.
Nope.
If I'm not mistaken. So that's good for us. All right. Move over to track for a second, Kelvin. How do we do in track over the weekend? First outdoor meet.
We had a couple of standout performances. We had a hurdler who's also another one of those SWAC track athletes of the week for his performance. And DeRosia, anytime you got a Rosia in your name, you're a winner. So the freshman hurdler had a great outing, and this was a meet that had a lot of competition, a lot of good competition, and he ran came out first out of 19 people, and he ran a 13.64 in the 110 meter hurdles, and like I say, was the track athlete of the week. And I think we had one other top finish on the ladies side. I'm trying to find it, but they'll be here. The 400 meters we had a top 10. Yeah, she finished 7th, and then also in the 400 meters we had Alicia Douglas, who finished 6th out of 40. Kim Yon in the 400 meters ran the 54.76, and then Kimion McLeod in the 100 meters finished 7 out of 33, and she ran a 14.06. So pretty solid showing for the first outdoor meet, and they'll be at home competing in the Florida State relays this weekend here in Tallahassee. So a lot of good competition. Interested to see, what progress will be made at that meet.
That'll be over at Florida State this weekend, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Any updates? I haven't seen any updates from golf or tennis. I think if you want to take a look at, I don't think either are playing this. I think it's still kind of maybe getting out of the spring break thing here. Taking a look at the tennis schedule right now.
I do know that the SWAC has their bowling competition championship this week, but of course we didn't make it, so we won't be participating in that.
Here we go. Tennis update this weekend. We're taking on Southern Saturday, March 23rd at the Althea Gibson Tennis Complex. So it is a SWAC contest. It's us v Southern. Surprising. There's no other teams or no cluster or anything like that. So it's just Southern. 10 o'clock if you're so inclined and you can make it out. Go out and see some tennis. Support the Lady Rattlers. We got to get back on the win. Our last match, we lost to Jackson State. So we got to get back on a winning streak. Feel confident that we'll do that. Maybe the week off. Actually, the ladies have been off for almost 13 days since their last match that was out in Jackson. So hopefully spring break did them well, and we'll get back to winning. And I think the other program, golf, that we were looking at,
I don't think they have anything this week. I think it's next week. Aren't they supposed to be going to California? Is that the California trip?
It is. Monday. So this weekend they'll probably be on the road traveling. The Bridgestone Collegiate Invitational is in Napa. So that's a Monday and Tuesday. So that's where they'll be. So by the time we come back next Wednesday, we'll have an update on their results there. All right. I know we've asked a lot of you folks who've been watching the show, but it is NCAA tournament time, and some of you are going to be playing brackets. You're going to be playing in pools. We know you are. Why not play in ours? And so we want you to join our NCAA tournament pool. A lot of you use ESPN. It's a pretty nice site, really. I mean, even if you're a novice basketball fan, you can get a lot of good information to help you decide. But join our tournament challenge. It's a private club, private group. The group name, you can see it. It's called the ONG StrikeZone Friends. The password to join our group, very simple, Rattlers with a capital R. We're asking for $10 per bracket. You get 2 brackets. And here's what we're doing. So we're going to take the pot. We're going to donate 50% of that pot right to the Rattler Athletic Fund. All right? That's how that's going to work. So, hopefully we get a great number. I mean, a lot of you are watching the show now. We appreciate the thumbs ups and the likes. But more importantly, we need your support. So this is our chance at doing a little fundraiser. So 50% of your bracket entry is going right into the main pot. Then what we'll do is we'll give a little prize to the first place and second place winner. All right. So hopefully if we can get a good, nice size pot, first place will win 25% of it. First, 15% will go to second place. Okay. So please, 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 I know we ask a lot, but we're just going to ask you to join our tournament pool. Tournament starts tomorrow, noon, the main tournament, the 64. Obviously Grambling now is part of the 64. All right. So this is a great opportunity to join our men's tournament challenge. Again, you can make a donation. You can use Cash App. There's the Cash App code there, MyJBN, MyBCSN, or you can scan that QR link and you can send there. If you go to our Twitter handle on X, you'll see at the top of our page pinned on our Twitter feed, you'll see the links there in case you're somebody there. We'll also do another round of send outs to promote it via social media. So if you're doing a bracket, you can join. Oh, the one other thing I should add, I should throw this in there, Kelvin. Winner gets to co-host the show with us. How about that? If that in itself should be worth, that's gold right there. You get a co-host the show with us.
I already co-host the show.
Yeah, well, we'll have to let you co-host. Maybe you'll have to. Maybe it'll be the second. But if it, and this does not apply. So if Kelvin wins the pool, obviously the next person behind Kelvin will be the winner and the person that'll get. So yes, we are playing in it, but obviously, we can't win our own pool contest per se. So I'm sorry, Kelvin, you can't win the first place pot or the second place.
I can win the picks though. I just can't get the money.
You can bragging rights. You can get bragging rights and win the picks. Yes, definitely. Bragging rights will forever be yours. So get your brackets turned in. You guys got a lot of options here, and we want you to come join our pool. So please come join our pool. Again, please get your $10 donation. You can get 2 brackets max. Make your donation, use the Cash App, or scan the QR code. Make sure you let us know when you submit it, that payment, let us know what your name is of your bracket. Hopefully you'll use your whole name of your bracket. All right. Appreciate you guys joining us again. The ONG StrikeZone Friends, password Rattlers. All right. You got until like 11:59 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern time, for you folks who might be watching us in the Central Time Zone. All right. Real quick question by EA. Okay. You asked me to explain what the UConn Jackson State 34.5 means. All right. So what that means, EA, is that the Vegas odds makers say that UConn, who is a 3 seed in the women's region, taking on 14 seed Jackson State, undefeated in the SWAC. All right, the dynasty that is Jackson State. They say that UConn will defeat Jackson State by 35 or more points. That's why the half is there. So if you think UConn is that good, then you would do what they call, you would lay or give the 34.5 points because you think UConn is going to beat Jackson State by 35 or more points. But if you happen to be one of those people, like me, I do, who says, no way in heck is Jackson State getting beat by 35 points. Now, it may be 20, might be 15, might be 25. I don't know. But they're not going to get beat by 35 points. 35 points is a lot of points. So just imagine the game starting at 35-0 and then just, hey, let's play. Jackson State is not going to get, I don't think they are. I don't think they're going to get beat by 35 points. So you would take the 34.5 points and roll with Jackson State. And if you were even so bold to be one of those people who says, oh, Jackson State's going to win outright, who needs points, then you would take a little pizza money, put it on the money line. Because I bet the money line is probably going to be something ridiculous like plus 400 or 500. I'm curious to see. I don't know if they may not even put a money line number out there. That's how outrageous this is. But Kelvin, any thoughts there? Can you see UConn beating Jackson State's women by 35 points or more?
I think it's possible, but I wouldn't. I would take the bet. I don't see it. I do not see that happening. I have too much respect for a JSU program and their coaching. And UConn is a little short. I think they only go 7 deep this year. And, they're from an offense standpoint, they're limited. And JSU is pretty good defensively. So I would hope that I hope that it's a competitive game. I hope if they do pull away,
me too.
They pull away late. And that's kind of the way I see it. I think they should be able to stay within 10, 15, at least until the middle of the fourth quarter or the early fourth quarter. That's what I expect.
Yeah. Edwin's asking if you put $10 on Jackson State. Well, I don't know if you'll really win anything by putting $10 and giving the 30. You're taking 30 points, so nobody's going to give you a lot of money with that many points. So, in theory, if you put $10 on Jackson State, you'll probably get back $9, maybe close to $8. Literally, that's not a lot. Now, if you put that same $10 on them to win outright, that's where you're going to really win your money. All right. If you put them 10 to win outright, you might win about $50-$60. Maybe, that's not bad. So I hope that kind of helps clarify some things for you there. Of course, I'll be looking to take though. It's so hard to find women's lines though. Women's college basketball is, and I keep saying, if you want to see what's going to send women's college basketball besides these better TV rights, you want to know what's really going to push women's college basketball into the next stratosphere? Hate to say it. Gambling. Sports gambling. I mean, it is legal, but once people start betting on women's games like they do the men's games, it's over. And then, it won't just be because you guys love watching women's basketball. It'll be because you love making money off watching women's basketball. So, all right. Anything else we didn't cover tonight, Kelvin?
No, I think we've covered enough for the night.
Okay. Well said. All right. Just want to remind you guys one more time. There's the Rattler Athletic Fund donation. I saw Bull. I think Bull said he made his donation. Congratulations, Bull. Thank you. Thank you. I think James Austin had already dropped some money in the Rattler Athletic Fund. So we'll have to get some more info on Colsey's Army for next week's show and kind of talk more about the 220 Club campaign. We'll put that on the agenda for next week's show.
Absolutely.
They're doing some interesting.
Let's see if we can get somebody on this show.
It's kind of late, so I mean, we may have to settle with Vaughn. I don't know if.
I mean, he putting it all together anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but shout out to the people who the 220 Club who do watch the show. We appreciate all of you. We got thanks to Vaughn for kind of mentioning that Coach Gordon was going to be on the show tonight, and there were a few people that mentioned they watched the show. So to all of our 220 Club people, we say hello to you. And we may have to figure out a way how to. I'm joking here. I don't know. Maybe Mr. Jackson is a night owl. Maybe, but if he's not, then we'll have to figure out a way how to maybe get Mr. Jackson in the first segment, first hour. Or maybe we do a pre-recorded thing, I don't know. But,
that sounds like it.
We say, hey, Mr. Jackson, you want to come on the show? What time's your show? Is it 8:00 to win? He'd be like, oh, I'm asleep. I'm comfortable. I got my house slippers on. I'm chilling at that time. He's like, can't y'all do something earlier? I say, we'll figure it out. But we'll have to figure out a way. Maybe worst case, we'll get Vaughn. So maybe we'll see if Vaughn's available for next week, and we could talk about the initiative that the 220 Club is doing and all that goes with that. Plenty of challenges that come with all of these fundraising things. So I'm going to leave it there because I felt myself about to start on a rant, and I said, nope, let me stop, Bryan, stop. In the spirit of Kofi, I'm on. Woosah. Stop.
What up, buddy?
Hey, what up, buddy? Hey, again, thank you to everybody keeping. I saw the text. Tamara T. I know, Tamara, you're still watching. I got to get you in touch with either Lourdess or Majesty. I forgot. I got the text. One of them wanted me to get in touch with you. I might be both. So Tamara, hit me up if you got the email address. Send me your email address, and I can
Lourdess.
Yeah, Lourdess wanted to get in touch with you, Tamara T. And congratulations, by the way. New position that she'll be taking over.
Well, we're moving on up.
Hey, so congratulations there. And hey, again, keep Lourdess, keep Majesty, keep the Hemmingway family in your prayers. Shaka Perkins, keep his family in your prayers as well. Great Rattlers, great people, but just with a lot of heavy hearts. But I love we got to keep living, living and keep enjoying, keep trying to find ways to smile and enjoy every day and every ounce of breath that you have. And that's what we're going to do.
That's right. Let life keep lifing.
Keep lifing. There you go. It should be a new shirt. New shirt alert. Keep lifing. Thanks to Coach Bridgette Gordon again for joining us. What an outstanding conversation. Hopefully you guys
fired up, ready to go.
Ready to go, boy. I tell you what, we doing it big. So thank you to everybody watching. Special shout out again to You guys saw me on Twitter and Instagram. Shout out to all the people that I met at the 60th Bob Hayes Invitational Track and Field Meet in Jacksonville. Had a chance. That was my first time going. Had a chance to, Greg Coleman is the executive director. I mean, what an awesome event. I met Coach Ray Richardson at the former FAMU, first off, former Olympian, former FAMU track athlete, former FAMU track and field coach. So it was a pleasure talking to him. I saw and met so many other Olympians. Had a chance to meet
Ray Robinson.
Ray Robinson. What did I say? Richardson. Sorry. Ray Robinson. Sorry about that, Coach. I knew it was an R, Robinson. So sorry about that, Coach. Met the family of Bob Hayes, and got a chance to see the Hall of Fame or the museum. Just some cool memorabilia there, and so what a tremendous opportunity just to be there. And so they're doing some big things, and it's just going to get bigger. And it's already a big time event, and it's just going to get bigger. So, and congratulations, VP Sykes. She was given a community service award. She was there. I didn't get a chance to speak to her. I was busy broadcasting the couple times I saw her in the area. Didn't get a chance to say hey, but congratulations to her on being recognized for the work that she is doing. So with that said, that'll do it for tonight's show. For Kelvin, for Marcus, I'm Bryan. Rattler Nation, be good to each other, be good to yourselves, keep those fangs up, and please make sure to strike, and strike again whenever you see, especially this weekend in Daytona Beach. Let's get to Daytona Beach, and let's cause a fuss and a commotion around them Wildcats, and let's see if we can get a sweep or at least win the series out there in Daytona Beach. All right, I'll see you out there. Maybe I'll see you out there, put my toes in the sand, and have a good time with some of y'all Rattlers this weekend. Be well. Join our March Madness contest. Go join now. Hurry up. Join. All right, bye. Peace.
Thank you.